Hello.
Is already moved on
Have you done
to?
your panini?
Deadlands lost
More
colony.
Oblivion.
So let's try turning them back on. So while you guys carry on sorting out the overflow of last week of someone deciding to publicly announce that someone else was dead, I'll see if I can pop ups.
Yeah, you sound like
Publicly
you got a
announced
little
it. I
smoke.
dragged him out to the porch and I told him.
Yeah, but you did it in front of there's a window to the porch, and we're all sitting looking at the window, going, "What?"
Yeah.
The window
Now,
that was open
will you,
because somebody tried to climb through it
yeah,
at the beginning.
because somebody tried to climb through it. Will you just calm down? Now, I'm thinking, like you told me to, and I'm thinking very hard indeed. And if I was dead, I wouldn't be able to do any thinking now, would I? So, therefore, I can't be dead. I've
Logic I've ever heard.
I've been around for some time, and I know that there are strange things going on, and I've heard stories about like the dead getting back up and walking on battlefields and things. But one thing I've heard in all of the stories about all of that is they are mindless, can't talk, wander around doing things they would have done like automatically and things like that. None of them go around talking and interacting with people and playing card games and doing magic tricks like I'm doing. So I cannot
I smack
be
him
dead.
across the face again to shut him up.
There are actually a few Walking Dead who are very cognizant of the fact they are walking and dead. You just appear to be one of the ones that doesn't realize you're dead.
Yeah, see, Patrick, it's what
Complicated.
they call them harrowed. What's happened is you died, and when your soul passed to the hunting grounds, some Manitou decided to make use of you and dragged your soul back to your body.
Patrick crosses himself at this point. Now, look, there's enough of talking about my soul passing on and passing back and that kind of thing. Now, you go and find Misty, calm her down, point out to her that I can't possibly be deed because I'm standing here and I'm talking, so that she'll be able to do the show with me tomorrow because I've changed the show that much in the last 6 months. I'm not sure I can do it without her. And if I haven't got her, I can't do the show. And if I can't do the show, they can't kiss. And if they can't kiss, no, that's a different story.
Well,
If I
if she
can't do
can't stop seeing the Manitou that's got a hold of you, you're kind of screwed, Patrick.
if she won't do the show with me, we can't get paid. If we can't get paid, we can't afford the house. If we can't afford the house, we can't investigate it further and help us find out what happened to the fella who had the ghost rock that we had to smash up. We mustn't ever tell anybody about the ghost rock because everybody thinks it's missing and been stolen, which it was. It was, to be fair to them, it had been stolen by the guy that's gone missing they're looking for, and then we've smashed it up, and that makes us an accessory to the theft, which we definitely don't want to tell anybody about. So whatever we do, we mustn't do that. Now, excuse me, I need to go and find Misty. Misty? Misty, it's me, Paddy.
Stay back.
Would you come out here for just a wee moment? We've been travelling together for some time now. It's just me. It's dear old Paddy. I'm not going to do you no harm, no.
You're not you.
Sure, and I'm me. Ask me something that only I would know.
You would know too. It's evil.
Now, if just because something's evil doesn't mean it knows everything. I mean, the dear Lord is the only one that's omnipotent. So he is. He's the one that's all knowing. The devil, the demon, he would only trade in lies.
How do you know?
Well, so my ma told me, and I was brought up as a good Catholic boy, so I was.
That was before you were dead. You're dead.
This is not a Catholic demon, Patrick.
Sure, it is. Any kind of demon or devil is Catholic.
And she apparently can see it.
There's actually some demons and devils that are more Native American than Catholic.
Well, if they're not holy, they're evil spirits, they're Catholic spirits, and they need to be punished. And hang on, you're telling me that she can see evil spirits? Sure, and you're telling me that Misty's a witch?
I can't see it anymore, but I know it's in there.
How are you sure you didn't see one of them things that was down in the basement that had just, maybe grabbed onto me for just a wee moment while I was climbing around in there and coming back out?
Patrick, and I stick my finger back in the hole in the back of his head. That doesn't explain this.
Would you take your finger out of that? Look, I've seen a fella. I saw a fella that was shot with a shotgun in his side, and he had a great big hole right into his guts. Could see the food when it went down in there. Now, okay, it did smell a bit, but he was fine. Having a hole back there doesn't prove anything. Well, except that somebody shot me and I didn't notice, which in and of itself is a little bit upsetting. But I mean, maybe somebody gave me some laudanum or something and then shot me because they had something against the back of my throat. But well, I certainly hope not. I mean, I'm just glad I've still got my voice, because without that I wouldn't be able to perform now, would I? And if I didn't have my voice, that would be my whole vacation gone, wouldn't it? Now,
While he's running his mouth with a really quick, smooth motion, Mercy takes her Bowie knife and stabs him in the gut.
oh,
Okie dokie.
Kev, can I play the first adventure card of the 3 that I've got because of what's happened last week running into this week?
It's because I've just given you it for that, just in case you wanted to do that.
You can if you. Okay, so you can if you really want to. Draw an adventure card, immediately increase the number you may draw by 1 forever, but you do get the bad luck hindrance. You know that, don't you?
I do know that. Sorry, who gave me that card?
You better hope
That was me. I am
No more.
Apparently,
supposed
I'm
to throw
such a
it away.
skin. Apparently, I'm such a skin flinty individual that you better hope everyone gives you lots of bennies from now on, because apparently I'm the meanest skin flint ever when giving out bennies.
I've met far meaner skinflintier ones than you. Don't you worry.
what you saying?
I didn't mean you.
And then I go and do that, so which is fine, and then I go.
Such, you've got much better these days.
Will Money didn't notice any of this crap. He was just sitting there thinking they're all out of their nut.
At some point, they broke the ability to take the adventure card deck and leave it out on the table.
You broke it.
Would you like me to give you a Benny?
No, I just want to know why Mr. Money Talk doesn't show up.
Me. I just followed through.
Okay,
No, I shouldn't have said that live on air. I
Oh,
just
so-
Scooby-Dooed.
Sony decided that 2 hours into my Pathfinder adventure, they've discovered copyrighted material and they blocked the whole video. 2 hours into the video, we're just talking, so I'm intrigued to know how Sony's discovered only on Facebook.
Poop tube.
No, it's on Facebook, but I can't work out how they've decided that obviously it's copyrightable material of some meditation album of theirs, because we're just talking.
Yeah.
Presumably you can contest it.
No, they got to
They
pay
rejected
you
my
money now
concept.
because we actually invented something and they've stolen it and put it on there and put it out and they're making money. So we're all going to be millionaires now off the back of you, Kevin. All right? Excellent.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
While they're still continuing to argue, Mercy turns and stalks off and heads into town.
William
Is this after you've stabbed me?
Yes.
Well, I haven't finished that yet. You need to roll for damage. You can kill him.
And you've got to hit me first as well, because I'm going to try and not get hit.
Exactly.
I don't know what to say at the point. All I know is a ghost rock smells funny. So is this just like a hallucination of like a big mescaline hit? I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Peyote, yeah.
Don't know what's going on.
I believe the other card that I've got.
Not letting me target him on the tracker.
Because
Yeah, I think I hit you.
I was getting loads of errors yesterday.
Yeah, but yours is the only portrait not working.
Oh no, yeah, I'm not even talking about. I was just talking about Savage Worlds errors on just errors with maps and errors with tokens and. Yeah,
Oh, that's annoying. I knew I shouldn't have updated. Mind you, it's finally says. Hang on, what's the latest version of Decked Out? Hurrah! I finally got 2.1.1. Decked Out.
Hello. He's drawn a Joker. That can't be good.
I don't even understand what that is. You know, when you draw, what is that? The public Joker card. What is it for?
Anything that he needs to draw a card for that isn't a standard draw thing.
To cut a long story short, in Pathfinder, when we're talking about Pathfinder, reset brain. In Savage Worlds, there's 2 decks of cards.
There are.
One is your action card for your combat tracker, and the other one is a card you can basically pull. Because Deluxe, a lot of the things were like encounters, you used to pull a card.
Yeah.
Oh,
Random
that's
decision
enough to shake me.
Okay.
Good.
now
She
I'm gonna
shook
take-
you, but you didn't die. And she pulls it
Take-
out, and no blood comes out,
take
apart
my
from some
code.
crawling maggots.
Yes, that is
Maggot,
correct.
really?
You did basically you get stabbed in the chest. It does hurt, obviously, or at least you think it hurts. As it does hurt, but when she pulls it
Ow!
out,
That really hurt!
there's no
What
blood.
What in God's name did you do that for?
Hang on.
And as I said, Mercy turns on her heel and she stalks down the steps and heads into town.
So
Did
is
you
it
take your knife
bleeding?
with you, or have you left it in him?
I pulled my knife out. I take it with me. I don't leave my knife nowhere.
All right.
I would like to spend a penny in order to change the narrative.
But just before you do that, is it actually bleeding because he's glamoured?
No.
Well, this is the thing. First of all, I've been shaken, which actually means I need yes.
Yeah, but you're not exactly grey and smelly, like. So how do you pull
Right.
that one off?
No, I absolutely look fine. I look absolutely fine. I'm then going to spend a penny to change the narrative, and I'm going to reach into Patrick, reach into the amazing Adolfo's jacket, which is the one that he's wearing, and pull out a deck of cards which has been almost sliced in half. Now,
Okay.
if any of you lot want to make a notice roll, enough of it's been sliced by the Bowie knife that definitely some will have gone through and pierced his flesh. But Patrick's view, clearly the deck of cards has stopped it, and therefore he's still going to be firm in the belief that she smashed up his deck of cards with her knife. Now look at what she did. That was a perfectly good deck of cards, so that was. And I'll discard it. Mess everywhere, and we're going to have to tidy this place. I mean, seriously, what is with that woman? She tried to fucking kill me, so she did.
You're already bloody dead. Sorry, bloody's a very English thing to say. What would an American thing to be?
Would say bloody. Yes, she's been acting she's been hanging out with an English guy, an English paddy.
Excuse me, I am absolutely not an Englishman.
You are an English paddy.
Do you realise what kind of an insult that is?
Porg Mahone. Sorry, Will Money doesn't know that word.
It's like calling an American a Canadian.
Canadian and American, that's even
Oh,
worse.
it's more like calling a Canadian and American. Americans are...
Yeah, true. Well, I can't think of something that would offend an American that is likely to ever happen.
Americans tend to think that everybody wants to be just like them.
No, it'd be like it would be like telling an American that says that they're Scottish that they're not Scottish.
He's more County Cork than them. Don't be no surrender.
Try to tell an American Irishman that they're not really Irish.
Yeah.
Especially when they put on that funny fake Irish accent when they've never been to Ireland in their lives. But yeah.
No, it's the ones that...
See, I put on a funny fake Irish accent when I've been to Ireland.
Closed down the whole town.
I'm talking about Michael Flatley, with his Irish accent, yeah.
Because they're having a parade, and when you ask them what the parade is all about, they'll tell you, well, it's the halfway to St. Patrick's Day. And it's like, this is Clare, Michigan, not Clare, Ireland. But we were founded by an Irishman, the Doughertys. Oh, I swear. And that's real. That's an absolute fact.
People like an excuse for a piss up wherever they are.
Yeah. Either way, I'm still not dead.
Yes.
Look at me.
You are.
In fact, I'm going to dance a little bit of a jig. Look, could a dead man do that?
Obviously, you're doing it.
Don't be ridiculous. That's a very good little reel, that is. Angels dancing on the heads of pins could do that sort of thing, but nobody with the devil in them. Now, see, you can see that I'm absolutely fine, Misty, and you will be coming to do the show with me tomorrow night, won't you?
Not even listening. I'm going to stomp off.
You know what? I mean, considering we've been let's put this in context. So we've gone into the basement and have been attacked by hundreds of things coming through the portals of hell, and then we've almost been
6.
eaten by a piano. This is kind of like Thursday.
I never could get the hang of Thursdays.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
But,
I think
all
I
of
had
those
it,
things,
had it at the piano. Honestly, to be perfectly honest, yeah.
all of those
And-
things, strange as they are, well, they were there. Whereas I am clearly not dead. Can you not? I mean, what about me is dead? I'm walking, I'm talking, I'm thinking. I had breakfast this morning.
Well, I have seen your routine.
Food goes in, and the necessary happens. I'm only
Well,
saying that
I've
the
seen
ladies
your
aren't
show.
present then.
I've seen your show a couple times, and you've definitely died on stage at least once.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Nice.
That's the way I was. That's the way. I've seen the show. Yeah.
Well, thank you very
By the
much.
way-
Maybe I should get you a job as the opening comedian.
The ladies both walked off at separate times, but we've both left.
Oh, well, I know. That's why I said I can only say that because there aren't ladies talking
Oh, I
about
misheard.
needing to do the necessary. I could only say that with ladies having left.
I misheard you. I apologize.
What's the necessary?
Pooh.
It's not necessary.
I think you'll find, Mr. Money, it's absolutely necessary. And if you're having problems doing it, I think you've got more problems than you're saying that I have. Food goes in one end, the necessary comes out the other. If you'll pardon me making those allusions. But now, if you don't mind, I think I'm going Miss D. Miss Vancouver, she can stay as far away from me as she likes if she's going to be stabbing me with that big knife again. Did anybody see which door Miss D went out of?
I think they all went out the front door.
Okay,
Right.
One's broken as well. This is ridiculous. Right. Okay. I'm giving up at this point. I'm officially.
give up.
Oh, am I broke? Nobody knows I'm talking.
You'll be
Oh,
able to fix it later.
I'll have to fix it. I had it fixed. It's
Yeah,
just...
no, I did. It turned out I don't know what it was with mine, but I just had to copy and paste one of the other ones. That
Yeah.
wasn't.
Oh no,
working,
copy and
then-
paste. I copy and pasted that. It didn't work. The only way I've got it to work is I've had to delete them and recreate them from scratch. And then one which was working stopped working. So I'm just going to have to start again. Anyway, okay. So people are leaving, and I apologise. First things first. I have to walk bennies all around. I actually give any bennies out? Yes.
Well, you need to give out some more bennies, I think, for the amount of time you've just wasted of us. You know what I mean? We've been waiting for half an hour for you. I wasn't late. What are you talking about?
You know, I thought I was the snarkiest one around here. Then he came along.
Yes.
You know
and
what?
I won.
You're quite right.
Was
I will award bennies to everyone that deserves an extra benny. There we go.
Well, that's nice, isn't it? That's nice. That's nice. Yeah, I remember you.
So I'm going to go after Miss D.
Okie dokie. Right. In that case, you need the other map, don't we? Wow. Yeah. Okay. Imagers. Okay. The whole investigation has been completely derailed. It's just not. I'm not saying that. I'm not bad. I'm not complaining for the record. Okie dokie. So we'll go back to this slightly bigger map. Now I seem to recall that. Oh, Yeah, number 30 is Len Buckles' house. I'm gonna put everyone outside this. I'm gonna put everyone outside Len Buckles' house.
Yeah, I think the best way to, well, for me anyway, the best way to proceed is to pretend none of that happened.
You can't remember how to put your trousers on, let alone what happened earlier.
Oh, I just it got all confusion, and I think my brain's leaking and things.
Okay, so there you go. Tokens should be unlocked. You should be able to freely move about the town.
But Ghost Rock does have an exposure limit, you know.
Well, we're needing to break it up and burn it in little bits and get rid of it the next day or three. But please, Miss D, will you
share the map?
He has shared the map. Just double click on your token on the combat tracker and it'll open up.
About a half hour later, Mercy comes back carrying a tray, a covered tray.
Miss D, if please, Miss D, if you don't mind, just
How the hell are you following me? I left when you weren't looking. You don't know where I've gone.
okay. Well, I'm going to look round town for Sophia D. She's not where she's meant to be.
Going to that pub.
One
we was at before, I think.
Well, I get back to the house and they're all gone.
I think it's that one. The pin
Pretty
doesn't
much,
work
yeah.
anymore. You broke the pin.
I haven't broken the pins. You're outside the Tarrytown Hotel.
Oh, so there's a pub near here somewhere.
Well, there's the Music Hall
Nice.
Saloon at number 38.
That's the one where Thingy was singing. So there's 38 of
You stood right outside number 38.
Well, no, I'd have no idea whatsoever that Miss D might have gone fishing because that's what she did before.
Actually, that's not where I've gone. I've changed my mind. I've gone there.
Well, I've critically failed on my thinking you might have gone fishing.
Okay.
So I'm going to spend some time wandering around town having no idea where you've gone.
I've gone to the pub.
Actually, that's the Music Hall Saloon, isn't it? So it's probably not a pub. I don't
know what each one of these buildings looks like in intricate detail.
So anyway, right, me and Mill back at the plot. So what exactly was so the idea is we were supposed to go to the house that the agent had hired to find out where the agent was, and then it all went a bit wrong and kind of like
Just
off
don't forget
trails.
the Music Hall Saloon will cost you money to go in. Try number 43, the Red Door Saloon.
Number 9, the Cowboy Saloon, was where we went in the first place asking for hotels.
It was.
Yeah, so I mean,
and number 9, then boom, there you go.
So that agent must have he must have stole the Ghost Rock and hid it, or somebody else was in it, but it's his house. And then after he'd done that, he went up into the hills because he had a claim, whatever, presumably to investigate the land grab thing, and then he kind of disappeared. So where's his claim?
Good point.
So I think we have to follow in the footsteps, reconstruct what he does and where he went, and go out into the wilderness to find out where his claim was.
What time is it, by the way, in game?
Early evening, I seem to recall.
And when's the show supposed to be?
Probably in the next hour.
I'll be there at the stage door at the appropriate time, but I'll be where I am now in the intervening time.
And if I can't find her, which I won't be able to, or then I'm going to go to the stage door at the right time as well.
So what's everyone else going to do? You've got an hour.
Well, I went back to the house and they apparently were all gone, and I was bringing Patrick a peace offering, so I'm going to head back for the hotel, whatever we were staying at, next between 19 and 38.
Is number 30 our house, is it?
Yeah.
Do you really want to sleep there? That place is trying to kill us.
Yeah.
Do I run into Patrick at all on the way?
I thought we killed the piano.
Yeah, well, we.
Yeah, I know. I bet I don't know. It's just the whole basement thing. You know what I mean? And
We-
technically, we
the
never
basement's
actually,
a bit
technically we
dodgy.
never actually fixed it. We kind of just broke the rock up and then spread it round. I mean, I remember people running in with it into the back garden.
Okay, I've
I
come
mean,
to the
yeah.
conclusion.
Yeah, we
I've
didn't
come
do
to the
anything about that.
conclusion-
We've messed that up, haven't we?
I don't know. I
It's
don't know.
smashed up. The portal isn't there anymore. But John Watt is going to need to spend the next few days burning little bits of ghost rock here and there to destroy this nugget, and we don't tell anybody that we found it or that we smashed it up.
And by the way, do you know how valuable that is?
Do you know how dangerous it is to not do that?
Yeah, no, but if you accidentally tell people about it, it's quite like saying, "Oh, by the way, there's gold rush. I accidentally lost gold nuggets in my back garden. I'm going to come out with spades and start digging it up."
No, we're not telling them that. You're just going to burn it here and there and get rid of it. We're throwing away that vast amount of money on the grounds that it's going to be good for the world.
I don't know. Some might find its way into some extravagant invention later on.
Well, if it does, that's all right, as long as it doesn't turn up in that volume. So it's great. Oh, thank heaven you're here, Miss Steve. I'm so glad. Now, we're going to do the close up watch one, and you'll do your backwards foot shooting, and then I was thinking we'd end with the tomahawk throwing. Are you okay with that?
The show must go on. It'll be fine.
Right. I'm glad you're here. Thank you very much.
During the hour before the show starts, Juan is going to go to the doctor's office
Mhm.
and see what he knows about Harrowed and if there's any way of proving somebody is Harrowed.
That could be an interesting conversation. Hi, Doctor. What's your experience with dead bodies reanimate?
I just like the idea of a possible answer.
Well, I am.
No, I was just thinking if you want to prove or disprove it, send them to the Houseville Repute and ask the girls to work it out.
Blood doesn't flow.
Exactly.
But I don't understand. Does it? I mean,
I've
mean,
not
but
looked at another woman that way since my dear poor departed wife.
But he's not exactly grey and smelly.
No,
Are
he's
you
not.
talking about him or his bits?
I mean, he smells of grease paint. A lot of. But he's definitely.
We could smell the decay on him when
You
we
could
got
smell
closer.
decay upon him. Yes.
But he's definitely not grey. He's commented several times though. He's had a bath this year.
Yeah, I don't. I thought he was kind of.
Okay.
I thought he was kind of glamoured, and now it's kind of worn off on us, and we're kind of like. Does that mean he says he's glamoured to everybody else? Have I had too much to smoke? I have no idea.
Been hanging around with that ghost rock too much.
But we'll do our show, and I will say the secret magic words.
Well,
hopes that...
how far we're still an hour beforehand.
Good point. Yes.
So okay, so apparently the doctor sees patients downstairs and lives above, typically charging $1 a visit. It'll cost you $1 to have a consultation with the good doctor.
Okay, not a problem. Juan be rich.
One be rich. Okay. So the doctor is doesn't actually say how old he is. Gives me loads of background about him. Gifted surgeon in the Union Army. So that Gettysburg in 1863. So what was that? That was 21 years ago, wasn't it? So he's probably in his greying years. We'll say that he's probably in his late 40s, and at the youngest. Oh, and how can I help you today, sir?
Do you have any experience with those that have died, usually been murdered, and then are up and around and talking like a normal person would?
He make a notice check. He's Okay, first things first. He does seem taken aback. He then basically mutters something under his breath. All you hear is all the only words you can make out is Gettysburg, and something else about corpses rising up. But the last thing you do catch him saying, though, probably the most important bit as far as you're concerned. Possibly loud enough. He then goes on and goes, well, I'm afraid, I mean, I've heard many tales of that sort of thing, but I really do believe that they're just that, the type of tales you hear in those pulps, pulp dime novels that sell so well back east. Why do you fear you are dead, sir? Because I assure you, from over here, it looks like you're breathing quite healthily, and you look quite flushed, in fact. And obviously, I can see the perspiration upon you, so therefore, I would say that you are in no way, shape, or form deceased. He laughs.
Oh, it's not me. It's an acquaintance of mine that has proven reticent to believe that he might be one of those things, creatures, whatever.
Well, if he's up and about and talking, sir, I would say he's probably perfectly fine.
Yeah, except for the hole he's got in the back of his head. I would agree with that.
Well, I do not know actually when it happened. Oh, shotguns have been around for a long. Well, I funny you should mention that. I have been reading a recent medical journal about someone who was injured with a shotgun. It's proving most useful in determining the digestive times. He was shot clean through the stomach, and when it healed, he was left with a hole. Therefore, the scientist is able to perform experiments by dropping food straight into the stomach and notice how long it takes to be absorbed by the body. Although I gather, though, the last thing I heard was the problem was the patient runoff. I don't know what the timescale is, but that's a very disturbing true story I learned in biology at school.
It is indeed. It
That's
happened.
utterly messed up.
Happened in 1822.
Oh, well, there you are then. It would have happened then. Thank you very much. So, I mean, a hole in the back of one's head, unless it did it, I assume it did not pass through the brain, sir.
I probably not, but I was thinking that the spinal cord was probably severed.
Well, indeed, well, as I say, if there was no damage to the brain stem or the spinal, maybe he was very lucky and it missed everything. I mean, the world is a strange place. We see lots of weird and wonderful things, and as I say, we have seen these situations where when the body heals, it leaves holes. Bullets are not a natural occurrence, and therefore they really should not be put into close proximity of living tissue.
Bullets are not a natural occurrence.
Should not be a natural occurrence and the proximity of living tissue.
Okay, well, I guess that gives me a little bit of information. I guess I'll have to see if there's something else I can do to clarify the situation, both for him and for myself.
But of course, if you, I mean, if you really are in need of, I'm afraid I am not an alienist, sir, but I do know that there are some. I can't remember what cities you're near. Refer to the map. Where's the map? I remember it. Yeah, there we are. I'm breaking out the map. There's a map on this wall of Unitar. Uniter County, I should say. You are at Heaston Hill. I do believe Evans. Yes, you'd have to head about 30 miles west of here to Evanston, I believe. There's I gather a rather renowned alias there, by the name of
Alias?
Alienist, by the name of Dr. Hohepper, who is very good in treatments. He was an expert. He spent much time treating ailments and curing people in London, and he has recently come over here in his to get away from everything. He kept going on about hides go all over the place and curing people due to Ripotech issues, but I'm sure that's nothing to worry about. Whatever Ripotech is.
Okay. Yeah, I might be able to convince my acquaintance to go and talk to an alienist, but
Oh no,
yeah.
So
All
I was
right.
thinking, yes, I think both of you should probably go because either he, I mean, obviously, it would be a medical miracle if he was in fact dead and still talking, as you say, sir. But at the same time, I think both of you should probably have a session just to make sure that both of you are of sound mind. But indeed,
I guess I can see that too. Yes.
He gets, oh, time's getting on. Unless there's anything else, I will.
No,
closing
I'll let you get back to your other patients. Thank you.
You're the last of the day. I'll be closing up surgery and heading over to see the show.
That's where I'm headed myself, actually.
Oh well, I would be. In that case, we might as well stroll over there together.
A perambulation could be enjoyable. Yes.
It is indeed most healthy and yes, and can I interest you in a very health affirming chew of tobacco, sir?
Oh, I've never really understood how to do that without making an absolute mess of myself and those around me. Thank you, no.
I completely understand. I have to admit I am the same, and I'll be honest, I'm not entirely convinced that all the sales pitch about how it is good for promotion of healthiness and all that is entirely warranted. But obviously, will continue my experimentation. But as you say, in public, probably not better to do. So yes, let's head on out. Okay. Does anyone else wish to do anything in the hour before the show?
I'm just having a bit of whiskey.
No problem.
Did Alexa just try and join in?
Siri did, yes. It does. I don't know why, but anyway, there we go. So, okay, so we're at the show then, are we? So we're back at number 38, aren't we? Oh, no, we're not. We're up at 2 penny.
We are at.
Music Hall. I'm getting myself confused. Music Hall Saloon is a saloon, so yeah, it's absolutely fine. Yeah, up at number 53, the 2 penny theatre. Okay, I do believe he's charging $1 a ticket for you.
$1.50, I think. Better than $1.
$1. He said he'd start you off as $1.
I'll start us off with $1. Okay.
How much are you charging me?
$1.
Yeah.
He's charging $2.
I just paid $1. No, it's too late now. One can pay $2. He's rich, he said.
Okie dokie. So, on with the show.
Is the old limping man?
I don't know where the old limping man is.
Yeah, what about? I mean, so what we doing? Gamble?
He's still up at number 30.
We're going to see this show.
It takes a while to get me traction.
Okay, if you are attending the show and sort of position yourself around the audience, it will cost you $1 each. Obviously, it's $3 for a box.
Actually, yes. So the plan was they had actually gone to find out about the show, and I'd gone with them to see if they could perform. But what I was more interested in was scouting the place out. One idea is they're going to do the show. He's going to say a phrase that only the Twilight Legion would recognise, and everybody is to watch the crowd to see who moves, what the reaction is. and
Which
follow
is
people if
which is
necessary.
why Juan is going to go ahead and get a box so he can kind of be up and able to see the crowd.
Aye.
I'm just going to be down with the crowd.
To be said, a box at $3 will get you basically the box will see 4, so you only need 1 box.
I could pay for a box, no problem.
Yeah, but it depends if you want one. Obviously, 4 you can fit 4 of you to a box, but obviously, if you want to sort of make sure you don't miss anything, I suppose, and you want to buy both of the box side of the theatre.
Get a box on opposite sides of the theater, and then
Aye,
split up who's where.
let's get both of them.
I see like that. Oh, I see like that. Okay. Right. Okay, so the show begins.
It does.
Across the street from a place called Tarantula Hole. I find that disturbing.
Oh, yes.
So we start with a number of feats of prestidigitation, producing items from nowhere, and then I take a pocket watch from somebody near the front of the audience and smash it into pieces inside a handkerchief, and then produce it whole from a previously locked box.
I've just got
Displayed.
to interrupt you. Sorry, just to interrupt you there. Obviously, because Sophia's disturbed by that. Someone didn't even notice I moved all the bennies. No point. Yes, the disreputable looking joint. I've just noticed this. I've got to tell you it. Obviously, you obviously notice it as you walk down the avenue. The disreputable joint sells the world famous tarantula juice, according to the signage out front. There you go. Okay, sorry.
Lovely.
Anyway, so you retrieve the watch from elsewhere, from a previously locked box. I apologize.
Yes, that is held and collected by the lovely Sophia, and then she shows the box around that it's all locked and what have you, and then I hand the key to the person who originally gave me their watch, and they pull out definitely their pocket. Next, we have a sequence involving a number of handkerchiefs that self-immolate, vanishing as they're thrown from Sophia towards Adolfo or back. It may even be that Sophia pulls some out of her cleavage and they catch on fire, because that's the kind of thing that the cowboys will probably like.
Yeah, well, I am red hot.
What's setting their cleavage on fire? I don't get it.
No, the handkerchiefs that come out of her then immolate. In the third part of the act, this involves Adolfo putting Sophia into a mystic trance, as taught to me by a fakir from the Far East. And she will then contort herself into impossible positions under my hypnotic control. And this is where I will be using the mystic words Lux in Tenebris, and the hand symbol of the Twilight Legion, the clutched fist, with the level hand making the symbol of the setting sun, in the hopes that this will bring out the Twilight Legion contact in the town if they have come to see the show tonight.
Okie dokie. So 2 things. One completely unrelated to the game. So one, I need it, but so I'll tell you while everyone else is doing the bit that's related to the game, and that's everyone needs to make notice checks. But I'm afraid to say every time and it's very rare it happens, obviously, but every time someone talks about fakirs, all I ever remember is a line from, I can't remember which Carry On film it was. You, fakir, off.
Oh, yes.
It's nearly as good as Infamy. They've all got it in.
Well, I can imagine them getting a thick. I can imagine them getting a thick ear for the way he acts, but yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, I know it was all very much last week when you were heading into specific areas through specific types of door and all that. But I just noticed.
Carry on up the Khyber.
Yes, it was. However, I've just noticed Brickbox has actually got trapdoor, so I've watched 2 episodes today.
Yay!
Right. So, William Money, Juan, Mr. Watt, and Juan will get a +2 bonus due to the fact that they're in a box and therefore have an advantage at being able to look into the audience. Anyone not in the audience has a -1 penalty to the roll. Sophia, obviously, you have you're distracted obviously by the show anyway, so that's fine. You still got your spirit sight on?
No, I just don't know how to turn it off.
Because it's a new. So,
You encounter. That's what I thought. Yes.
yeah. looks like from my position on stage, Sophia being in the actual mystic trance and contorting herself was definitely distracting. Looks like I spotted from where I was.
I'm in the audience. So I didn't spot anything. I got a -1, and I.
You do, yeah. So I wouldn't worry about
you went in the box, but
yeah, because obviously
I wasn't
all you
there,
can
I-
do is look around. Oh no.
I shouldn't have rolled because I'm not even there.
That's absolutely fine. Juan, you notice who does it. Mr. Watt, you actually notice because of your bonus of being in a box. An Amazing Adolfo does. So for Mr. Watt and the Amazing Adolfo, it appears to be a middle-aged man. He's rather well dressed. Juan, the doctor made the symbol of Twilight Legion in response to Adolfo.
Nice.
Symbol.
So he probably does know all about it. And then finally there's a section with blindfolded knife and tomahawk throwing involving Sophia strapped to a spinning cartwheel. The finale involves Sophia being hit in the gut with a knife and miraculously not dying.
Hey, look, they're both undead.
Shh! Don't tell Sophia that; she'll be upset.
There you go. Well, obviously everyone screams at that one, of course. And then you heal her. Well, congratulations. It's a fairly good show.
I might need a support roll on that, or I might have to spend a penny on it. I want better than 4. How supportive are you, dear?
1 moment.
I think people noticed she seemed very reluctant to get near you. I mean, she did the act, but there was some hesitancy in her role, I believe. Well, maybe she hit it very well. She obviously hit it very well. So that one.
Show must
Crowd
go
gets a
on.
bonus. She's actually terrified. He's going to really stab her.
So actually, since that's a +3, you know what? I'm going to spend a penny just to see if we can get a raise and really good show. Oh my, yes! What an excellent show we put on.
Maybe the fact that Sophia was terrified enhanced the fear on the last act.
I reckon it did, yeah.
Maybe for once she thought you weren't using the trick tomahawk. Maybe it was the scream she gave as it hit her, where she actually, in a moment, forgot the actual actor and obviously thought it was a bit too real, or maybe realised that maybe that's what's happening all along, and no, who knows? But anyway, indeed. Well, obviously, with a performance like that, the people will leave being very impressed, and obviously the
Part of the act has been put in the chat.
So I forgot what I was going to say now. So obviously that with such a good performance, the feedback that people will give means you'll probably have a fuller house tomorrow night, which will make JC Philpott happy because a good night he can charge more. But in the meantime, you get the agreed amount. I believe it was $20, wasn't it?
$20 a show, yeah.
Yep.
$5 for Sophia.
15 for you.
Well, no, $20 for me, $5 for Sophia, and then I give 5 of my $20 to Sophia. What was the agreement was 20 to me, 5 to her, and then I was going to give 5 of mine to her. Okay. So Sophia gets 10 and I get 15 altogether.
Seems fair enough. Ooh. Okay.
I think you should give us some of that money.
No, absolutely not.
Why not? We're part of the act.
No, you're not.
You do what I did in that GIF, and you can have some of the money.
Yeah.
Easy. Just give me a few beers and a bottle of whiskey.
As everyone's walking out of the auditorium, the doctor approaches one and says, "That chap on stage, would he happen to have been your friend you were talking about earlier?"
Yeah, that's him.
Okay, I think you should tell him he should attend an appointment tomorrow. And we'll discuss further your concerns. Good day, sir.
Absolutely. And I
Right.
will figure out where the after show party is and crash it. No, and
The
get a,
after show party is back at our rented house.
At number 30.
I will offer to walk Miss D back to the house in the hopes that she will acquiesce.
I'll be a little cautious, but I'll walk with you.
And I will try to make small talk in the usual fatherly way that I do. Now then, I thought you were particularly good at the hypnotic section, and oh, that scream you gave at the end! Oh, it was the most realistic one I've ever heard you do. So it was. I'm very proud of the way you're coming on.
The day we've had helped with that.
Well, there is nothing on the stage that can't be seen in real life. It is but a mere reflection of the rest of the world around us, so it is. If you can draw from things that you've seen yourself off the stage, it's always going to be a better performance, so it is.
Well, I suppose that's true. But
Now, did
there are
you
some
see
things I see in real life I don't want to go to the stage. Did I see what? Sorry.
the fella that made the Twilight symbol back at? Probably didn't you? You had your head upside down and back to front at the time, didn't you? Well,
It's so not always easy to see from that position, especially with the footlights.
it was an older gentleman, perhaps my age, there or thereabouts, maybe a little younger, maybe a little older. I mean, I'm quite hale for my age, though the bones are getting a little bit weak and rickety, but never mind. Anyhow, I'm pretty sure I'd know him if I saw him. So perhaps if we were to take a walk around the town tomorrow, you can look out for a fella of the right description, and I'll look out for him. And between us, we might be able to find him. I have to see if anybody else spotted him making the symbol as well, because I mean, the Chinaman, he was up in one of the boxes, and so was Mr. Watt. When we see them later, we'll have to ask and see if either of them spotted him too.
Yeah, we'll talk to the others.
Oh, you
Juan,
haven't seen?
did you see the show?
Remember the Alamo?
Okay, that wasn't the reaction I was expecting to. Did you see the show?
Why would we want to remember the Alamo?
I've
Moly,
just had
I've
too much
just
whiskey.
I've just seen the gif you posted of the woman firing a bow with her feet.
That's Sophie Dossie.
Ah, you base
That's
your character on.
That is the person that Sophia
Yes.
D is based on, yeah.
Show me about the CG fire.
It's real fire.
That's not CG fire.
That's
Looks
real
it.
fire. It's just a bad gif.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
gonna
It's
say.
America's Got Talent.
Yeah. Oh no, it's I just thought someone put that on afterwards because it does look fake, doesn't it?
well, they do the high speed camera just as the arrow hits. So yes,
Yeah.
it's going to look fake, but it's actually just poor photography, in my opinion.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
no, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying it just struck me as, but it looked cool. They didn't need to add the fire to it.
And according to the background, it could have been a Burning Man.
So, okie dokie. Well, as less the house is in a heck of a state, of course, of disrepair, and obviously, there's bits of exploded piano all over the place.
To tie my hair back, get my mess clothes on, and start tidying, because I find a good way to cope with stress is to preoccupy my mind by doing other stuff. So I'm going to start cleaning up.
Fair enough. Pardon me. What's everyone else up to this evening?
Well,
once Juan gets back to the house, he's going to kind of corner Patrick and say, "Listen, I understand that you think you're not dead, and I will accept that you think you're not dead, but the doctor would like to talk to you." And as I say that, I will give the hand symbol.
And I'll do the hand symbol back and say, "The doctor," you say.
Yeah, the doctor would like to talk to you.
Yeah, he said the doctor.
Right. Well, I do have a little bit of a bellyache. So I shall go to the doctor, and I shall say to him, Doctor, is there nothing I can take to relieve this bellyache? And I'll see what he has to say to that, and I'll do the symbol again.
You said
Here
the
we go.
doctor's appointment's tomorrow.
Well, yes, I wasn't going to go until the morning. It is quite late at night, Mr. Money. And we've got a bit of cleaning to do if we're going to rest at least moderately comfortably in this house here. So we are. Certainly, we need to make sure we clear out a room for the ladies. Us gentlemen, we can probably manage without the place being, or the room we're in being quite as clean and neat, and being not quite as genteel in our proclivity.
Snort at that comment.
I'm going to go.
Yeah. What he
I'm
just
going to
said.
go on the porch and put my feet up.
Is that a
Bottle of
fancy
whiskey.
way of saying, do you mind sharing a room with a dead guy?
Oh,
It
did
I
sounds
haven't
like
got
it,
the
doesn't it?
faintest idea what you mean. And I will go around doing some cleaning and neatening and what have you as well.
I just realised what I should really do is, if I'd done the portal thing, I could have set up a portal so it teleports you to the house, the other map, and vice versa. It would be so useful. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. We don't need the house map because you have sorted.
You haven't drawn the house since last week.
I just closed the house map.
Put furniture in and
Do you feel judged at all there, Kev?
new carpets.
No, I've just come up with a novel new way to shut him up. Bing.
No, you can mute it.
He just keeps nicking my bennies off me. That's what
I
he's
just
doing.
take his bellies away.
Yeah, weird. The bennies are. You think I don't see him popping and going up and going down, popping up when I've not been spending any?
Nobody
Yeah.
said the pennies had to flow in your direction.
Yeah, that's a rule. You can't change it.
No, the bennies must flow, just not necessarily to.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Evil. Evil.
Okay, so it's quite late in the night by the time you sort of, by the time Sophia finishes tidying, and it is an uneventful night. And then morning comes around. And obviously, I don't know where you're going to go for breakfast.
I'm thinking back to that place that you put the 50 cents in the box. It was really good.
Yeah, might as well. It worked, didn't it? Yeah, it was
Yeah,
not
why
bad
not?
food.
The guy that owns this house that we're renting it off, what was it called? Nolly's Grub Counter.
Number 39.
Which is down there.
The only one I didn't pin, I forgot to pin, though. I can't believe I missed the pin on that one. Okay. Nolly Grub Counter.
And
39.
once we got the kitchen cleaned up, we can start buying victuals to cook ourselves.
Well, indeed, Rooney.
I wonder if the creek near here is any good for fishing, Miss D. You have mentioned in the past that that's something you enjoy doing. Maybe you could catch us, a fine fry of fish.
Not a problem. This place is biting well. I caught some the other night, gave it to the women at the house we were supposed to be staying at for us to cook for our tea, but then we didn't stay.
Still
Well,
both
Tackle fish again.
The thing with the things in the basement kind of got on top of us a little bit, didn't it?
That's an understatement.
Well, so I need to go and find. But should ask Mr. Juan where the doctor's office is.
I'll take you there. I'll take you there. Number 13.
Oh, unlucky for some, so it is. Hope you're not triskaidekaphobic. And I will with Juan.
Okay. As you knock on the door, it's quite early. The doctor opens the door a crack and looks out and goes, "Yes."
Doctor, I have such a terrible bellyache, and I would like to have an appointment with you. I will say, making the sign of the Twilight Legion.
Yay. He visibly relaxes when you do it again to make so he's obviously reassured and invites you to it basically invites you to come in. So he leads you into his office. Can I check? I think it is.
We all got in there, or just
As far as I can tell, it's just 3 people went to the doctor's office. Too many people at once would
I
obviously.
thought I'd tag along because I'm only
I'm having breakfast.
Mr. Dolfo and Juan and John Watt. Okay. He seems a little scared, and from John Watt's your perspective, you're not entirely sure if if you could think of him as completely well, maybe even slightly off his rocker in the simplest of medical terms. But anyway, he leads you inside, sits down at the desk, and he starts talking quite quickly. I'm grateful to have made contact with you. Since Agent Reed went missing, things have gotten worse. Feels like something's always creeping up on you round here. You can just feel the tension rising. This place was all right for a while, it seems, but then Jerome Heaston came to town. Everything changed. Put the newspaper out of business, bought the old-timers out, sent his toughs to beat up on the independent miners. Now he's got the whole town in one fist, and just squeezing the life out of it. He's got the law and the news in his back pocket, and no one says a word. I'm scared.
Right. Well, that can't be a good thing. Have you got any idea where the missing fella's gone?
Reek was fairly tight-lipped with me when I asked too many questions. He would say it was agency business. That was my cute part. I know he bought in on a ghost rock mine out on the bench, not sure where. Said it was part of his cover story, and he had some powerful financial backing in Evanston. He seemed a little on the greedy side, but still one of us, you know. He was always asking people about the Headstone nugget and any other major find, maybe. And any other major find, like maybe someday he'd give up the secret agent business and go hunt the spirit himself. Soon after the nugget went missing, Reeg started looking like a dead man. He wasn't getting much sleep at his house. I prescribed him a tincture that seemed to help. He was all over the place, for a while meeting with Millie, working the mine with Prospector Bob, or sneaking around town at night in various disguises to figure out what was really going on around here. He was suspicious of Heaston, of course, but also talked about Debney and all the local gangs, and even Bogwater Bill. I think he was going out of his mind, to tell you the truth. I've seen it. Anyway, just before he went missing, he said something about a secret society in town. I'd never heard anything about it. And then he was...
You say he started looking like a dead man. My friends here have been, shall we say, ribbing me about one or two things. You don't have any of that tincture, do you? Just so that I can splash it on me and put their mind at ease.
Well, indeed. If you'd like to lie down on the examination table, we'll have a look.
Oh, there'll be no need for that. You just give me the tincture so you can. That's
If you'd like to lie down on the examination table, we'll give you a look.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. You know, I'm hale and hearty for a man of my age.
Patty, lay down.
Now, if you don't, are you threatening me, Mr. Wang Hong?
I'm not nothing with you. I'm just saying that you need to lay down. That's his stipulation for using the tincture. And if you want to use the tincture in order to prove that you're not who we think you are, that's what you're going to have to do. So just go over there and lay down.
Just rewind that a moment. To prove that I'm not who you think I am. Who do you actually think I am? You just... I'm...
Dead!
That's not who I am. That's what you think I am. You're now telling me that I'm not actually me. I'm somebody else as well.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yes, there is somebody else in there as well.
That is kind of disturbing, and I'm feeling a little bit threatened. I think I'd like to leave now. Very good to meet you, Doctor. If
One
you
will
don't,
stand in the way of the door.
Oh no, I just want to find out if the tincture's actually a bottle of aftershave.
What tinctures are supposed to be taken internally, so if so, I'm worried.
Adolfo's not exactly a big fella, and one is quite intimidating, even if he's not got his massive spear with him. So Adolfo is going to back down at this point. Well, I'll back down, I'll lie down, but I'm not taking drawers down, and I'm not coughing.
Something tells me he's had a bad experience with the doctor before now.
Okay,
by-
right.
Who's Bogwater Bill, by the way? I've heard of Debney. He owns the restaurant and the general store. We did hear that been seen with one of the local gangs. But who's Bogwater Bill when he's at home? Hey, it was the Ghost Steel gang. He might have been seen. Yeah, who's this Bogwater Bill fella?
I remember it. I know. I know. Obviously, I know, but I'm trying to remember what people know. I don't know what the town know about him. Okay, now let's. Okay, Bogwater Bill. Here we go. Okay. No. Basically, Bogwater Bill is okay. Sorry, I'm getting my head around here. Buster Nails Trenchworth. Yeah, he seems to be the one who will tell you. It's a creature that Buster Nails says he saw in the swamp. He named it Bogwater Bill.
So it's the local boogeyman. Is that what you're saying?
Basically, yes.
Right. Well, I suppose that would be the kind of thing that he'd talk about if he was an agent. So, looks like we're going to have to go and check out this Ghost Rock claim.
Indeed, and I notice you still have managed not to get yourself onto the table.
He said he did lie down.
I did. I lay down and then carried on talking in an attempt to distract.
Yep. the doctor pokes and prods. He does find the hole in the back of your neck.
But I would like to make that a performance test against the doctor to see if I can distract him, so that when he makes his healing roll, if he fails, then I've distracted him enough that not that I know that I'm distracting him, but to make him think that I must be absolutely fine, wittering away like.
Oh, you can make the roll. I wasn't going to make a roll because he says he looks up and goes, yeah, as far as I can tell, you're perfectly healthy and breathing well for a man of your age.
Well, thank you kindly. There you go, Juan. You're feeling better now.
Yeah. More than that, though, I bet Sophia D will be feeling better.
Well, I do hope she will, and it's be nice to trust me a little bit better. I mean, best thing that's the best thing to ever happen to me and to my show. I mean, the amount of attention that she can get. I mean, she's got some good points about her.
I mean, he basically
indeed.
He got the listening horn out. Actually, I don't know a stethoscope. I'm not sure if it means a stethoscope or a listening horn. He listening to your heart and quite convinced you had a good heartbeat there. So he's quite convinced you're healthy and breathing.
Remind me to never use him as a doctor. He can't even tell the difference between the living and the dead. I don't want him helping me.
There's a very good
There's a very good reason why he can't tell.
Yeah, because I'm not dead.
Because he's not dead.
Yeah.
There's a very good reason he can't tell, and there's a very good reason you could tell.
Yes, true.
And none of you would have realised.
I think you were smoking something that day. A whole lot of you.
I mean, to be honest, actually, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Obviously, I forgot to make someone make a spirit check earlier when they were shaking, but that's nothing to worry.
But somebody made the spirit check anyway because they're good like that.
That's okay then. I thought you possibly did. I know you better.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, Bogwater Bill's the local boogeyman. The town drug talks about him. But yes, so what's your plans and what are you planning to get up to now?
Well, I would like to go back to the house with Juan and have him report what the doctors said to vindicate my to everybody else that I've obviously got this injury, but I'm alive, and mention about the French Canadian chap that had the shotgun blast to his side and it all healed over, but it was still there, and he was fed through a gap in the side because the food kept falling out and all that kind of stuff, and tidy up the house a bit more. And then I believe Mr. Watt was quite keen to go and see if we could find the Ghost Rock claim. Might also be a good place to go and drop one or two little nuggets of Ghost Rock from the broken up big nugget, so that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about that because we didn't actually know what the performance is. But I don't. I mean, so he was talking about the nugget, and then did he go and steal it, take it back to the house, and then we all saw the ghost in the basement. Did that? Then they all drive him slightly potty. And was the rest a delusional rant as he went around going secret conspiracy everywhere?
Quite possibly, but there was obviously something else going on. But after he'd stolen it, he started being a bit weird. Which, if he had a portal in his basement, those things sneaking around could have had something to do with it. We've got rid of that, but we still don't know what else he was involved in.
And I have noticed checks from Juan.
He was right about everything. Remember the newspaper article we did at the beginning?
Was that notice checks from everybody apart from Adolfo?
No, Juan and Adolfo notice checks, please.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't hear you,
That's
so
okay.
I just thought I'll do one.
That's okay. Absolutely nothing. I wouldn't worry about it, but it doesn't matter.
Too late.
Too late. Okay. Someone would have noticed at some point. It wouldn't matter. It's really not that important.
It's Slarty Bartfast, isn't it?
Few people are going to get that joke, but I do.
Yeah, I get that joke.
Yay!
Tell me, Mr. Watt, do you normally dress yourself, or do you normally hire a man when you're out when you're staying in one place? Mr. Watt?
Yes. What? Sorry, I was eyeing the bog, and the bog water.
Tell me, do you normally dress yourself of a morning, or do you? I've noticed you're not short of a cent or two, and do you normally hire a person to do, lay your clothes out and help you with your dressing and such like, as a man of wealth and means normally would?
No, because you can iron your stuff and then you put it under your mattress and you sleep on top of your mattress and you come out and it's all pressed.
On a complete
Right.
separate
Yeah,
note,
the suit is yes, I do have a silk shirt on, yes, and yes, it is imported.
Yeah, well, it's a very nice shirt, and I'm sure that it is imported silk. But the only issue is I can see the seams, and I believe they're meant to be on the inside. Unless this is some kind of new fashion that I'm yet to become aware of, being as I am not particularly well up on the sartorial advances back east since I left New York many a year ago.
Yeah. I am wearing a suit. Yes, I am wearing fancy pants. So are you kind of alluding to the fancy pants might be inside that?
I'm alluding to the fact that I can see the seams on your silk shirt, and unless this is a particular sartorial decision that has been made by the hoi polloi and the well dressed back east, to when we get back to the house, your shirt around and back up, so it's nobody else notices before anything's said. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to embarrass you. I've offended you, haven't I? I'm
no,
sorry.
no,
I
no,
really.
no. I'm actually contemplating something completely different.
On a completely separate note, I just realised.
Yeah. So right. I remember where I was. So meanwhile, back at the newspaper.
Oh yes.
So the newspaper story before we arrived in town, the had press had done a run on a story about Everson had started doing land grabs, and he wasn't. You know what I mean? So I presumably in the beginning it was all hush hush, and I'll give you money and slowly take over. And now he's just blatantly bullying people off the land. Stick a gun in face. This claim is mine. Bye. So did the agent run afoul of Everson because he didn't talk very highly of him?
Well, this is true. It could be the case. I think we should definitely make our way up and see if we can speak with that prospector Bob if he's still up on the claim about whether or not Evanson's had anything to say about it. Something else. It might be worth seeing if we can. I mean, it'd be more your department than anybody else's. Would there be an electric light available in the town if we can get it hooked up to the house? Wouldn't that be something?
How on earth did it just do that?
I don't know. Silas Wanamaker did a good gambling roll, though. I'm glad I'm not playing against him.
Yeah. On a completely unrelated note, I just realised I had sound effects for your show last night.
You did? Wow!
Nice.
Lux in Tenebris!
So there's a hatchet throw and a critical hit.
Marvellous.
There you go. And I didn't realise I had that, which is quite. Got this as well. There you go.
Please tell me that wasn't your take on Sophia's scream.
No, that's just a horse. Message for you, sir. Okie dokie. So you're going to head out, try and find Prospector Bob. Is that the plan?
Well, I think first thing I want is for one to tell everybody that I'm definitely alive and the doctor says so, and then we'll gather everyone together and head out to see Prospector Bob once they're all fully acquiescent to the fact that Patrick Harper, aka the amazing Adolfo, Prince of Prestidigitation, is not an ex-Irishman. He was actually merely pining for the Irish coast.
Yeah, Juan will shrug his shoulders and go, yeah, the doc said he's got a heartbeat and everything else, so...
So he's not dead, he's merely pining for the fields.
Apparently he's only mostly dead.
I've been mostly dead all day. I did take a pill for it once. It was covered in chocolate, made it go down easy.
Oh dear.
So with the doctor's word on it, Miss D, are you willing to accept that maybe it was just one of the things from downstairs that you saw was following me around?
What you're gonna get from me is our reserved judgment for the time being.
By the way, do you know in the high weirdness, right? So the rock, he took the rock out, right, of the office, but he didn't unlock the cage that it's locked in.
Well, you say that.
Buried it in his cellar.
But maybe he unlocked the cage it was locked in, took it out, and then locked it up again. That's the thing with locks. You can lock them.
Yeah, they work both ways.
Hmm.
Then you can unlock. And then you can lock them up again.
You will probably have to find out where prospective. Oh no, you did that. You went to the office, didn't you, and got the.
We went to the
location.
assay office. John Watt
Yes,
went
you
and
did.
found that out for us already.
I forgot. Shutting up. Anyone bothered picking up Mercy?
Picking her up.
I don't think she didn't
I
spend the
didn't
night
realize
in
she'd
house.
fallen down.
No.
She didn't spend
Mercy
the night.
left after slashing him. When she came back, you were all gone, so she returned to her hotel. She spent the night there. She took Larceny out for a run in the morning. She's thinking.
Ooh, I was just seeing something.
Well, it's not so much that I've seen something, it's just
Do
that.
we know where she was staying? Did she ever tell us?
Well,
Did you
Will was
know?
going there initially too. I don't want to stay in that creepy house. I was way back here where between 19
Yeah,
and
yeah.
58.
I know where you were, but did you tell us where you were?
Will Money would know. I didn't say anything about where I was going after I've left the one time, came back, you guys were all gone, so I went back to my hotel. But by morning, I was out, took my horse out for a ride because she needs to run every day.
Hey, anybody else seen Mercy? Because I've not seen her since yesterday early evening.
Well, if Mercy's taken the horse out for a ride, and nobody that's been told that they would know where she was staying is going to own up to the fact that they know where she was staying, I will spend a penny to change the narrative. And as we're walking back along Bridges Street,
I know where she is.
that can be when Mercy is riding back into town, and we'll see her.
Okay, you can do that. I was going to say, yeah, you don't need to because I know where she is. Yeah.
Well, perhaps you should go and tell her we're going to head out to the prospector's place and see if we can find out a little bit more about this
I'll
Mr.
go
and
and
Mr.
get her.
Buckles.
Yeah.
Very good of you, Mr. Money.
Left a penny for that, thanks. You could have just given me the penny instead of giving it to Kevin. I mean, he doesn't need any pennies.
Right. Okay, so
Calm down, take a deep breath, relax. Breathe.
Wibble. Okay. So I'm going to assume that you're all together at this point and heading out of Houston.
But Mercy hasn't heard anything about the visit to the doctors, and I doubt she believes it.
Well, is Will going to tell her about it when he's picked her up?
I'll tell her on the way back that there was nattering about a doctor. I don't believe any of it anyway. I think you all smoked something, but yeah. I'll fill her in on the gaps.
When I meet up with Will, when he finds me, because I'm going to retrieve my guns if we're leaving town, and I'll get my horse.
Yes, don't forget you can. Yes, you can retrieve your guns if you're leaving town.
And then I'll point out to Will. I says, "Will, I don't care what the story is." I says, "If the man has a Manitou, how do you trust him?"
And by the way, what did we do about giant wolves?
What do you mean, giant wolves?
Well, giant wolves that are out in the prairie. Or
There
having the
hang
stories.
on. Are there actually giant wolves out on the prairie?
Well, probably. Or haven't you heard?
And what do you mean by giant? I mean,
well, as you know, probably, right, we do this wee side business, right? We do land ownership deals for the railroad, which will eventually come through anyway. So, some of the ranchers, like if you go south out of Property Flats and that, they say that things disappear, like sheep's in the field disappear in the middle of the night and things like that. So, I reckon big wolves. That's what I meant. That's the story I'm sticking to.
Right.
With them out in the middle like nocturnal predators.
Giant wolf.
Yeah, sounds plausible, doesn't it?
I suppose. And where would these giant wolves be the rest of the time?
I don't know.
I mean, just how giant would they be?
I have no idea, but there you go. Maybe
'Cause-
they're midget wolves. I don't know. They're really good at sneaking up.
So they're either giant wolves or they're very, very small.
Yeah. Mind you, when I did hear the story, everybody was drunk at the time. But so there you go.
Right.
Claim what do you like?
Very, very drunk.
Very,
Let
very
me
drunk.
just be clear. So,
Either way, they sound pretty dangerous. We just need to keep an eye out.
I mean,
Your guns loaded.
even if they're giant, but they're very, very far away, they'd look very small.
Precisely. That's why we need to keep an eye out.
Right. So we've got to look out for the giant wolves that might or might not be out there. That if they are out there, only come out at night when you can't see them.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah, that might be that might be why people were trying in the pub try to explain and try to describe them. That
Patrick will look
basically
at
describing
one with
something you've never seen.
slightly cocked to one side and say, and this you think is perfectly reasonable and normal, but me being alive is something you had to take me to a doctor to prove.
I took you to the doctor to prove it so that Sophia D would quit freaking out and you guys could work together.
But you're happy to accept the giant wolves that nobody's seen and may or may not actually be there as a reason for sheep going missing when, it could be put down to perfectly normal sized coyote.
Oh, I didn't say that was the only answer. I said it's a possible answer.
Right.
Gonna go
Okay.
into Prospector Bob's claim, are we?
I'm thinking that.
South of Houston Hill, the Sagegrass Hills rise to the base of Tarrytown Bench, about 400 yards away. The narrow, stark slab of the bench soars 100 feet straight up, its cliffs and crags worked by a seething hive of miners and fangled digging machines. It's a short trip up the Ghost Rock Trail, an hour on foot, half that on horse, to reach the site of then Buckles and Prospector Malone's claim. I'm just using Mercy's token as the whole party. Much easier that way.
They're all on horses.
Wait a
Yes,
minute. Maybe the wolves are aquatic and they hide in Bogwater Lake because a child died.
Have you been drinking?
Aquatic wolf. Are you sure they're not merwolves, half wolf at the front and half fish at the back?
you can
Pike
see
are
wolves.
particularly dangerous,
Hey, you never know. Better keep an eye out for them, too.
Nocturnal carp. Yeah.
Or
Try
possibly
some of those mushrooms the Indians like.
possibly the front half of a pike, the back half of a wolf, with the ears of a rabbit. So they're very good at hearing things.
The claim isn't much to look at. Oh, sorry. It's a short trip. A narrow footpath leads 300 feet from the trail, winding halfway up the bench's slope into a dense stand of pine. The claim isn't much to look at. It's a big hole in the hillside with piles of dirt and rock around it. A beat-up mechanical mule with picks and shovels leaned on it. Trash scattered all over the place. Over in the trees is a little tent rigged up with oilcloths and branches and a smouldering campfire. Have notice checks, please. John Watt is the only person to succeed.
Oh, anyway, land surveyor.
So the clueless guy is the only one that notices.
Yep, which is
He's
scary, isn't it?
yeah, he's the land surveyor.
The railroad.
A D12 in there. I think he's got a high notice, maybe.
No, he's got the 8.
Oh,
Yeah,
dear.
If I said it once, I said it 100 times. I ain't selling. Now go tell Mr. Heaston or I'll pepper your backsides.
Was that aimed at us?
Oh, right.
I'd really rather my backside wasn't peppered, and I've got no idea. Well, I've got nothing to do with Mr. Heaston, absolutely, and no, neither of the rest of us.
I don't. But wait a minute. Let's get word in edgeways. Yeah. By the way, see the smoke coming out the from mule. It's the mule is smoking. That'd be a shotgun, I bet you, or something. You know.
The mule is smoking.
No, the mule is switched off, but the smoke behind the mule, that's a gunshot. That's somebody's. That's a big gun.
The mule is switched off.
No, there's a shotgun sticking out from behind the mule. Can't you see the shadow?
I can't see it.
Now you point it out.
Now
Yeah,
he points
okay.
it out. You can see a shotgun poking out from behind the mule, pointing at you all.
We're not anything to do with Heaston.
You hear
I'm more
the
worried about you thinking that the mule's been switched on. It's an animal.
It's an
It's
electronic
a
mule.
mining
It's
mule.
a mining mule. It's not a mule. It's like a 1980s mule, you know, from the game.
Right.
Electric powered.
He's Irish.
I'm not used to this newfangled technology.
But actually, you also notice that this. You also
She
hear
doesn't
the
understand normal things like
distinctive
us.
sound of the cocking of the shotgun hammers.
Yeah, Mercy, as soon as somebody spoke, stopped larceny right in his tracks.
Now, there's no need for anything like that. So
Get off me land, or I'll pepper your backsides.
we're
Well,
friends.
but you're in front of us. How are you going to pepper our backsides?
That's a good point. Can't do that unless we turn our backs and walk away. So that would suggest that turning away is actually what will get our backsides peppered. But that's kind of beside the point. We're friends of Mr. Lenton Buckles, and I believe he had business dealings with you, and we're trying to find him.
How
We're
persuasive
trying
do
to
you think
stop
you are?
Henderson because he thought he had something to do with it. He's a bastard.
Well, that's fair enough, I suppose. I thought you were Heaston's sons again, looking to raise hell. Trying to force me out. Can't abide them blaggers. So I understand you've got business regarding Len and need to take a look around inside. And take a full accounting, as it were.
That would be kind of it. But you thought I was Heaston's son. Just how old is this Heaston fella?
Fact is, I own this claim now, free and clear. No offence attended, but I need to know you got nothing to do with Heaston. I need to trust it. So here's what I propose. You look like capable folks, and I could sure use some help with ruffians that have been plaguing us. Some of them are out there right now causing trouble. What you say?
Yeah, I'd help you.
I don't mind punching a couple folk.
I don't mind shooting a couple of folk. Yeah.
Well,
No,
hang on. Let's go meet the Logans.
Hang on just a moment. Before we went punching anybody, or shooting anybody, or sticking anybody with large, sharp-pointed sticks, or shooting flaming arrows into anybody, or riding horses over anybody, or anything that's kind of violent like that, we should absolutely make sure that they're the kind of people that we should be doing that kind of thing too now, shouldn't we?
Name like Logan's, of course they are.
Well, they're making trouble. They're making trouble. So yeah, they need to be taught that trouble comes back.
Bob points. Belladonna's just disconnected. Bob's not necessarily really paying much attention to completely comprehending the fact that he's pointing at you with a loaded shotgun at a trail heading south through the trees, going, "It's down that way."
Could be anybody. Ghost Rock Steel Gun, Sage Dragon, Little Rocky Regulars, you know. Oh, but they're all wanted posters on the. Or did anybody notice?
There were wanted posters for the Logans. Is that right?
No, there's various gangs.
Right. So what can you tell us about these Logans then, good sir? Just to make sure that we're on the right.
I'll tell you as we walk along now, down the trail there, off we go. He says,
just want to make sure we're on the right.
Again, waving the shotgun around, indicating the way to go. Sweeping a loaded shotgun past all of your heads.
I don't occasionally duck on this.
I don't remember seeing a wanted poster for the Logans, but there is gangs. You know.
Belladonna just connected.
Aha. Maybe they are back now.
Are you walking down the path?
I just
wanna walk.
Yeah, can you just be a wee bit?
Well, our horses, is this a path that we can?
It's a trail south through trees running parallel to Ghost Rock Trail. Doesn't say, so why not?
Clearly, the law is perfectly on our side.
Mercy will follow along on larceny at a slow walk.
Can I
Ben
just
Buckles
point
came
out
to
if
town
you
with
if
a
somebody
sizable grubstake, no experience. My finances weren't letting me live with a dream right then, and he seemed all right, so I let him buy in on my claim. Tight-lipped regarding his own business, but that's any man's right. Len was a good egg. But life out here can be full of trials, and I think Len just cracked holed up in his house for a week or so, wouldn't answer the door. Then one night he just lit out. Godspeed, Mr. Godspeed.
So you're saying he just kind of vanished on you?
Yep.
Was there?
Can I have some notice checks after you've travelled about half a mile or so down the trail?
Yeah, can he just stop waving the shotgun? And what happens if he trips in the path and accidentally blows?
No, it's fine. Once you started down the path, he sort of uncocked the shotgun and he's been walking
Chill
away.
out.
Okay, did I lose sound again?
No, you're there.
Okay, because I was asking Bob as I was riding alongside him if he knew of anybody else after
Hear
he
me.
mentioned that Len had disappeared, lit out of town, if there was anybody else in town that he knew of that Len associated with.
No. I spend all my time up here on the claim. As I say, it's got to find
Nobody
the
he ever
Aquavitae.
mentioned or talked about, or
No, indeed not. As I say, he was more than happy to buy in and help me find the water of life. Anyway, your notice checks. You hear raised voices through the trees. Bob holds a finger up to his lips for quiet and creeps forward. Assuming you follow, peeking out into a clearing, you see a small mining operation and a gang of armed men on horseback in dark brown dusters. 3 miners brandish tools defiantly. Some other folks hide in a small shack and peek out through the door. The lead miner yells. It shouldn't be Bob, so that's a typo on my part. Let's fix that now. I've got to fix these later. You ain't got no cause to harass us, Max Heaston, because that's what this is, harassment, plain and simple. Our claim's in order at the assay's office. If you got a problem, I say you take it to them.
So hang on, Bob said that, or the miner that we're walking past said that?
The miner down
the
below.
miner up ahead.
Yeah. The armed riders leader yanks his Colt and aims it at the face of the miner who just spoke. Children in the shack start railing in fright.
Okay, we just got to shoot this, don't we?
it's,
Hang on, wait a
it's
minute. Whoa.
how many people are with Max? Is he alone?
Did somebody say children?
There
I
are
heard
1,
children.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 8 men on horseback. I think this is a perfect opportunity. I think this is a perfect opportunity to use those new
6 of
maps.
us on horseback. I think we should just kill them all. Come on.
Yeah, Mercy ain't gonna say anything, but she is gonna get her rifle ready, get it unstrapped, and
Excuse me, gentlemen. I'm sure there's no need for that kind of violence, especially not with there being wee bairns around. Patrick shouted or project his voice using his full stage presence if he can.
Thereby giving away your location to everyone and anyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure if these are. I mean, maybe they're just a claim that's next door and he likes it. And if it's a legitimate claim, we jump. Are we not the same as Henderson?
Well, in Juan's mind, the fact that he's willing to shoot the guy simply because he won't walk away makes him a bad guy. So Juan is going to go and fight him.
Sure, Sophia has an opinion, but as I got booted and had to reboot my computer, I think I missed something important. So I'll let other people do the thinking and I'll just react appropriately later.
Probably a good idea. Oh, Oh, that makes my life easier. I did actually. Right. Go. And then I've got the miners. No, it did. No, what did it say? It said small mining operation. Okay, yeah, mining operation. So mine. Why does the combat? They haven't fixed the old. If you set an encounter with good guys, neutral guys, and bad guys, when you add them to the combat tracker, they become all bad guys. But
It's a shame.
set them good old Pinnacle with their complete lack of map. Set this one up. Please talk amongst yourselves.
Well,
obviously, you just
Patrick
shouted
will.
that out.
Yeah, I've just shouted that out, and then I'm actually going to walk out towards, because I don't like the idea of poor little children being threatened. Not
Are
a
there
nice.
children down there as well? Are they?
There was sound of
You heard
children
them whimper.
crying. Yeah.
Okay, so Patrick's choosing to walk out the front. Which is,
I mean, does it sound like a roughy toughy gang? Is that you go on a rampage and you take some kids with you?
1, 2, 3.
No, the kids were with the miners.
Yeah,
and these guys have just shown up then.
Mm. So Patrick is going to try and talk reasonably.
Prospector Bob led you down here, saying before he lets you examine the mine, if you remember.
He wants you to help get rid of these bad guys, basically.
He wants
the Logans.
Help deal with what he called the Logans.
Yeah, the Logans.
Who are the Logans? That's not the miners. It must be the Bods and Horse, isn't it? That are working
well,
with.
we don't actually know.
Okay, who's
right, so I'm going to say, while I'm pointing my rifle in the general direction of these guys, I'm going to say to Bob, are these?
Someone's missing.
With the guns, the Logans, are they?
There's William Money. There's the amazing dog. There's John. What? One's missing. That's who I couldn't. There we go. And then what I just do that, share the map. There we go.
You did say one of us was missing.
But
I'm saying that to Bob. Are these Bods with East and the Logans? Are they?
Well, anyway. Wait, he said, "Well, hot dog, let's go get these let's go meet the Logans," didn't he? Right. So, and then obviously at that point, Patrick decided to.
Where did that map come from?
When do you think it came from? Look! There's even a mine entrance.
from Josh.
Yeah.
They didn't add all the line of sight, all the layers that he made. It's very annoying.
Oh, is that his map pack that he released?
Yeah, but they've not released the map pack with all the layers and the assets. They've just done a bitmap.
Right.
Yes, because they can't release it as their assets because people can buy the pack as a map pack and can't use it if they don't have all the art. Therefore, he didn't create this in Fantasy Grounds. He just used the assets he creates for Fantasy Grounds in whatever product he uses to create the assets and created the JPEGs.
No, I'm not sure that's what happened. But
yes, it has to be because you cannot export images from Fantasy Grounds.
Yeah, but it was going to be on the Forge as a map. You got to have the map asset pack to.
That's not what he said when he was talking about this one. He said these were completed maps.
Well, Josh talked about these, did he?
Yeah.
When he hasn't been on, he's not been around since before.
Yes, he has. Has. Done two. And
yeah, he was streaming a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
Oh, he's back now. Good, right?
Yeah.
Good. I haven't seen
He was talking about these, and these are not the map. These are not maps he created during the streams. These are completed map packs he made using the assets he uses.
Ah,
the
right,
art
okay.
packs.
Anyway, let's get on with it and forget about that. I'll find it out later. But I believe you.
Right, at which point I'm going to say, obviously that means that you've lost your chance of surprise as you walk out, and Prospector Bob goes on hold with the Joker. John Watt, you're up. What do you want to do? It should be pointed out there are now one, two, three, four people are now pointing guns at Patrick as you've stepped
Right,
out.
okay. I think it's a medium burst. Oh, and then nasty GM. There.
I just put them down on the map. I just put them down on the map. That said, I have done encounters before where I've literally got a large burst template out and put that on the map and position.
Yes, yes. I was just thinking suppressive fire is a medium burst, isn't it? Is it a large burst?
Medium. Are you sure you want to shoot first?
No, I'm going to. Well, they're all. Let's go and hold, because I was the one that was thinking, hang on, wait a minute, hang on, I don't like this. So go on hold.
Okay, so obviously the miner that I just need to do a bit of rotation there. The miner that spoke is obviously in the middle of the three here. This is the guy pointing a gun at the miner's head. Token lock mode. I want token lock mode on, but I want.
They all got
lock to grid
M's,
off.
so it's hard to tell. Oh yeah, one of the M's is red.
Yes, I know. A good point. Let me see if I can do something. Token. Roll set. Medium letters. Let's make some L's. There we go. There's some L's.
L for luckless miner.
No, L for Logan.
Sir.
L for Logan.
Does that mean that if their wives are inside the shack, they'd be L's bells?
No, but if one of them flees, it would be Logan's run.
So they're saying, okay, I thought we were going to go and deal with the Logans, but obviously we're not.
Said, let's go meet the Logans, is what he said.
The Logans. So, by the way, do we recognise Maxim?
Sorry?
Do we recognise Maxim straight away?
I don't think we met any of the Houstons while we were.
No, we haven't.
You met a Heaston. You met a Heaston in Showdown, though, didn't you? Sundown, I should say.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, but not this one.
He was in charge of the mining operation up there. Okay, over to you, Mr. Adolfo.
Now, I'm sure there's no need for any kind of gunplay here. We're here with here to visit the Logans. Now, would you mind terribly explaining what's going on? I will ask kindly and politely of the rather scary-looking man with the gun, informing him that he's got witnesses and stuff and people that might report on what he's doing, and hope that he gets the message that maybe he ought to try talking before he blows people away.
His blood bay mare sort of maneuvers slightly around the place as where is he? Oh, there we are. He was
And
obviously
as part of that persuasion roll, because persuasion is used for animal handling, I'll give his horse a little pet at the end. I say, mighty fine horse you got here, sir. Lovely, lovely mare.
just obviously the gun's still pointed at the miner in the middle there. He looks down and he goes, just concluding a business transaction. It's nothing to worry about.
Right. I tend to find the business transactions that need to be concluded with the use of firearms tend to be, well, less than legal. And this is a very fine horse. Patrick does know horses because his family business that he grew up with, his grandfather was a horse trader, and so was his father.
Gee, but that's your 6 seconds.
I know.
That brings us. Oh, that's what happened. That brings us. Going on hold. Mr. Money. What are you going to do, sir? You're in cover at the moment.
Going on old. Got my gun pointed at Heaston.
Wong.
Casually, you know.
Juan will casually step out of the bushes to about here and just kind of stand there with his spear, kind of looking around like he's kind of confused.
Okie dokie. Mercy?
She's still on larceny. Let's see. She's going to come over this way, staying on horseback, and I already specified that she'd loosened her rifle, and she's going to have it kind of laying casually across her knee, pointing right at the first of the Heaston boys. When you all might want to think more than once about all of this.
That brings us to Sophia.
They have. I can't even hear him from downstairs.
In that case, I shall just press on. At this point, Maxim goes, "Okay, boys, let's wrap things up here and let's head out." And the whole attitude state changes as they relax themselves, and they basically do just ride off as a group. But everyone bennies for resolving that without resorting to violence.
Ooh.
Then Adolfo will tip his cap to the nearest miner and say, "Top of the morning to you. Name's Patrick Harper."
Bob walks out and nods at all of you. She goes by. He introduces you to the leader of the miners, Tyree Logan, accompanied by his sister Myra and their employees Red Bannister. The shack is Tyree's wife Jenny and their kids Candy and Noon. Bob asks Logan to relate the tale. Logan says, "Well, yes, but why don't we have some coffee and get comfortable?" and walks over to the shack.
Well, Adolfo will go back and offer Miss D his arm. Objection. He'll then walk her over to the shack.
There's a where there's where there was a campfire all along, you know. There all the time, I assure you. Okay, so let's do this.
Well, Mercy will ride forward and she'll dismount and tie Larceny loosely to a tree.
Come in and tie me horse off and
and put her rifle back in its scabbard type thing that she has on her saddle. and she'll come over, but she will studiously avoid getting anywhere near Patrick.
Interesting. Actually, those other three should have been inside the shack. There we go. There we go. And last but no means
You're dealing
least,
with the dog there.
Ah,
there we go. Now
it
we'll
was
be
the
hiding
giant wolves on the plains. They distracted.
Clearly, that's it. Okay,
So,
it doesn't look very combaty though.
No, we resolved it peacefully. Much to Will and Mercy's disappointment.
I suppose Bob's already told you his opinion. Now I got no love for Jerem. I can't speak. Jerem Houston.
Duran.
His beastly sons. But I'm telling you, they're no part of it. This isn't some hoax or tricks to make us pull up stakes and run. This is a nightmare come to life. Way the story goes, back when this place was founded, they called it Tarrytown. Old Standish Epp, who used to own the Frontier store, was from there, you see. Naming it, that reminded him of home. Now, Tarrytown is also famous for its legend of the headless rider who plagued the roads at night, murdering the innocent. That evil spirit must have followed them here, or maybe his friends. About a year back, a band of miners decided they didn't like the Utes around. They killed 2 women, and the Utes responded as you might expect. The Indians harried them into a place called Spooky Hollow. The prospectors cooked up a last stand with guns and dynamite. The Utes snuck in after dark and captured the miners, lopped their heads off one by one, and chucked them down a deep hole. But then miners came back. The bleakest, blackest nights, they ride out of Spooky Hollow, bringing fire and woe unstoppable. I put 2 slugs in one of them bastards. It didn't even slow him down. Get rid of them horrors, and maybe we can focus on our coherent strategy for Heaston's goons.
What is it? What is it with this place and people saying the dead men are working? At least these ones have got no heat on them. I'll admit, a walking body with no heat on it is probably dead. Patrick will say out loud in a kind of somewhat sarcastic, this is possibly a load of bollocks kind of.
Prospector Bob goes, now, look, Tyree, we've said this before. That's all just pure hokum. All it is just a hoax perpetrated by Heaston's boys. But that said, we do need to put a stop to it regardless.
So where exactly is this spooky hollow place then?
Logan's kids Candy and Noon start arguing over whether it's more of a holler or a gulch, apparently.
That's not entirely a daft idea, because everywhere you look in the map is a ghost story. It always, like the story of the drowned boy, don't go near the lake. And story of the nocturnal wolves, don't go near the prairie.
Why don't you tell me what is the difference between a holler and a gulch?
I have no idea. Does anyone know the difference? Because I don't.
I mean, hollers are up in the Appalachians, aren't they?
You have to be American for
The other
that.
day, but I've forgotten
Ask
since.
one, he knows.
The biggest difference between a holler and a gulch is a holler generally is open on both sides, and a gulch is not.
See, told you, you got to be American to know that.
Right.
See?
So, is it open on both sides?
That's a very good question. I'm just going to have to look at the map. It's interesting. They do provide a map. I would say it's inconclusive. The text, it does look like it. I'm not sure if it's open on both sides.
So the difference
arguing.
between the difference
if
between
you're not
them
really
is,
sure, the best way we can deal with this, children, is we can toss a coin for it. Now, does either of you have a nice shiny scent?
Yeah, I've got several. But I'm just wanting to point out the difference between them is actually one's a divot and the other one's a burn. I hope that clears it completely right up.
Eddie, he's got one. Look.
You're right. So he has. Not sure why he's keeping it there, though. Do you know why he's keeping it there, Sophia?
Behind his ear, perchance.
Now look at that. It was right in your ear. Why were you keeping a shiny penny in your ear, young man?
See, the children look on in standard amazement, as you would expect in that sort of thing. Well, the GM's desperately trying to make maps out of the stuff that's provided.
And then I'll turn to the
Working
ghost.
it a bit of time because I've been booted again.
I'll turn to the ghost. And would you know it? You've got one behind your ear as well. And with that, I think I should be able to flip them both and have them cross hands and catch them in opposite hands and say, well then, which of you's got to toss a coin so we can work out whether it's a holler or a gulch?
They're both two shocks of ore at the moment.
Then I'll flip my hands over and make the coins disappear, and then
Yep.
turn them back. So I'm showing empty hands and say, well, looks like you were too slow. They vanished. Dearie me. Well, what are we going to do about that then? And these were both your coins. I seem to have, well, made them disappear in my hands. Oh, well, one moment. Would you look at that? You see Mr. Watt here? The fellow with his shirt on inside out. Let's just go and have a look at his cufflinks. Now take a look there. His cufflinks have got your pennies on them. Well, there you go. I would tell that Mr. Watt that he's a bad man for trying to take coins from a child. To be honest, many got so barely. So you run along with those pennies, you two young'uns, and thank you for helping us out. We now know that it's neither a holler nor a gulch. We'll have to go with something else to call it.
Is that
A bad place?
Well, it seems like there's an awful lot of them around here now, doesn't it?
50 yards is 25?
Yeah, that's part of the reason why I like traveling around America. They've got all kinds of weird, bad places.
50 yards is 25 inches, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, this
And then seeing how Mercy's been avoiding him as I walk back away from the children, I'll look over at Mercy and say, now, Miss Vancouver, you've had a face on you most of the day, like somebody fed you a cow chip instead of your breakfast. Would you mind, telling me exactly what's going on? And then we can get these.
Right.
Then we can get these fine folks here to show us where this spooky hollow is.
Well, they give you quite comprehensive directions, but I'll let you carry on your conversation first.
Now we'll just take the directions and go.
Okay. It will a survival roll will allow you to follow the miner's directions. You can ride there, apparently.
Don't think any of us have the survival skill.
Yeah, you just follow this. Look, it's over there.
Mercy's too caught up in her thought process to be paying attention.
Okay, so
What are we rolling on?
survival.
What
I think
for?
that was a process of elimination, really. I mean, is it there? No, we
To
lost it.
follow the
now.
miner's directions. There's no one got the survival skill.
No, I've got
We're in
riding skill.
the
I didn't think I
wilderness.
needed.
Why the hell would we need it?
That's exactly what I was just thinking. Why has no one got survival? It's the Wild West. Tracking is something that happens in most westerns.
Yeah, but I'm
You
playing.
get an
I'm
Indian.
playing a
You
tin
get,
horn.
you get an Indian to do tracking in the Wild
Yeah,
West, don't you?
might find an Indian or a professional.
Indians.
Okie dokie.
Well,
Well,
we're back to talking about
the
steam
amazing,
trains again. Lovely.
the amazing Adolfo would appear to be the only one who was actually able to follow the instructions. So it only takes you 2 miles traveling south along the western slopes of the bench, passing by another small mining camp. Devoid of life, the tents and all the tools burned up in a fire. The trail rises up narrow canyons and treacherous switchbacks into the winters until you emerge onto a high wind-swept prairie. About half a mile distant lies Spooky Hollow, looking like a tremendous axe cleaved the mountains in twain. Spooky Hollow sure lives up to its name, a thick black canyon, 2 peaks, no sun or moon seems to penetrate its depths. The wind washes down its length with an agonized groan, crushing pine branches and kicking up dust. See no signs of life.
Well, isn't this a pleasant place?
Okay, so what I think I might do is actually fiddle with everything. So if I take three, instead of having 3.5 pixels as the map, if I make them 7 pixels, then make each pixel count as 2 inches. There we go.
Easy for you to say.
So perspective Bob is
Spooky Hollow.
you see. Okay, you're on the trail, which there. Look at that. Look how big you are.
Where?
You're there.
Zoom in. Zoom in.
Crazy, eh?
Wow, all the trees are using digicam.
It's going to be heavily pixelated when you zoom in, it has to be said.
Yeah.
That's the map they give you. Okay, so fortunately, however, we don't need to. We can actually advance your review up to the entrance to the hollow. Actually, yeah, it's a gulch, isn't it? As you said, if it's not open at both ends, so it's a gulch, even though the hollow, based on the description I was given earlier.
Well, I mean, the northern part, I mean, this area is the hollow, and that looks pretty spooky to me. So,
That's the hollow. Oh, a hollow is not open at both ends. A gulch is open at both ends, is it? I
Yeah.
must have missed. I got it the wrong way around. So yes, it is a hollow, not a gulch. There you go. Now you know. Okay, you got to the point here where horses can't make it into the narrow defile, but you can go single.
Got to leave the horses behind.
Got to leave the horses behind and go single file.
Or we tie the horses up. Not too tightly that they can't move if they have to. If something comes scary, they can run off.
Okay, I'll knock. So you have to walk single file down the thingy. So I just have a marching order.
Yeah, I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Jeez.
John
You're
Watts
going at the front. We're going to take a month to get in there, don't we?
Well, that's the point. I mean,
Oh, you're going so slow. I'm going first. You lot stay behind.
by the way, I got a wee bit faster because I've built up some muscle, so now I can carry the toolkit. By the way, I am carrying a backpack full of spanners, so it doesn't help. But you know,
Why are they all spanners? Why not, the odd hammer or wrench or?
I've got them
chisel?
too. But do you have any idea how many bolts you've got in a steam train? Seriously.
yeah, he
Something I
just
honestly
prefers
never
the spanner.
considered.
He just prefers the spanner because it's so much more fun to whack somebody with.
Funny
There's
you
a
should say
nice
that.
round
Funny
hole
you
in
should
the
say
head.
that. I've actually got one for that very purpose.
Is that one for the undoing of nutcases?
I know.
Yeah, although it's a bit unwieldy.
Can I please have athletics checks from everyone, please, as you walk down this trail, trying not to stumble?
Adolfo's quite sprightly for an old guy.
Do I still need to make it?
Well, hang on. I've only got one leg. It works.
That's academics.
Well,
It'd
it
be
was
4 though, wouldn't
You're
it?
thinking very hard about where your feet are going to go.
Yes, I am.
Is your academics the same as your athletics? I'll let it pass. So as it
It
stands,
is, it is.
Murty Vancouver is the only one who's going to fall while traversing this trail. Taking a point of
I guess I
fatigue
could
as
spend
bumps.
a penny.
It's only bumps and bruises if you fail.
Only fatigue.
You be
Yeah.
careful. You be careful there, Miss Van. Now here, let me take your arm. I'll help
Oh,
you.
that's all right. And she jerks her arm back before I can touch her.
And that's probably
Falls
when you
over anyway.
that's probably when you slip and fall over, landing hard, resulting in bumps and bruises.
Well, suit yourself. They do say that pride cometh before a fall.
About half a mile up a rocky tumbled slope,
Find a giant bean.
you find the site of the slaughter Tyree spoke about. Tangled in vines and weeds at the back of the canyon are 6 headless skeletons, several rusted and corroded guns, a spoiled crate of TNT. There's also a gap. There's also a gap in the rock with a deep catacomb beneath it.
I was
And
really enjoying this until I saw those skeletons.
And nobody had the decency to get those skeletons, bury the poor fellas. That is so sad.
I stamp on the floor to illustrate and say it's a bit difficult to dig graves around here.
Can I do an occult roll here to see if I sense any supernatural or?
Yes, you may.
They could have been taken back. They could have been taken back to the town.
Well, we can take them back with us.
I mean, they're missing their heads. What was the story? They get thrown down into that pit, didn't they?
I'm afraid, obviously, you can't concentrate with Patrick wittering on all the time, Mercy, I'm afraid.
On that, and I'm like keeping an eye on him because, frankly, anybody who's been owned by a Manitou, I don't really freaking trust.
It would be quite the difficult climb to get their heads back.
Manage it.
It would be
by the way, out west, this would be called a box canyon.
It'd be a decent thing to do, so it would.
Sorry, I moved you up a bit too far. If you look right there, there's a hole in the ground.
Sorry, due to rebooting issues, I missed
why
what
don't
the
we
purpose
throw Patrick down the hole and see if there's anything down there?
of this visit is, if somebody could enlighten.
We're here to investigate the Headless Horseman. May or may not be real Headless Horsemen. They also may be fake Headless Horsemen set up by the Heaston outfit to try and run miners off their claims. Either way, helping to resolve the Headless Horseman situation is the payment to Prospector Bob in order for him to allow us to check out his claim, which was the one he shared with Len Buckles, aka Agent Reed.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm looking around for because they took the heads, but if they were Ute, they'd have taken scalps, but they wouldn't have taken a whole skull.
Well, the story was they took the scalps and they threw the heads down into the pit. So, I'd appreciate you not throwing me down there as well. But Misty and I were both going to climb down and see if we could do anything about it.
Sure.
Yeah, see if you can find the skulls. Maybe rejoining the skulls with the rest of the bones.
You estimate you've got down about 20 feet, and now you're in total darkness.
Well, I've decided I don't want to be at the front because if there's going to be fisticuffs, I don't do fisticuffs. So, yeah.
How are skeletons?
You're 20 feet. You reckon you're both about 20 feet climbing down this.
Anyone got a torch up there? It's real dark.
Does anybody have a light?
If I can find
you got the mechanical type with you.
I've got matches, and if I can find somewhere a ledge to sit on, I can light a match. But if somebody could get a bit of wood, we could wrap some cloth around it and make a torch if we don't have one. I'm sure somebody can.
I'll start collecting bits and pieces of deadfall that's around the top of the hole. There's deadfall everywhere.
There is, yes, indeed.
If somebody can make a makeshift torch, light it and drop it down so we can work out how much further down we need to climb, that'd be great.
Well, hang on, give us a chance.
Is there a rudimentary lathe anywhere?
Yes.
We have a patent scientist with us, sorry.
He's a mad scientist. Patent scientist is...
no, that's Noir, isn't it?
Oh, the lathe is in my other suit. Bugger.
Okay, a lich.
There you go. So John Watt
Oh.
produces a furnished brass lantern out of wood
and
and nails.
lights it and lowers it down on a rope.
Using a MacGyver edge.
Thanks, that helps.
Thank you
Okay.
kindly.
How long's your rope? Has anyone got a rope? John, you said you load it on a rope, so how long's your rope? He's forgotten how to talk.
Prospector
people don't
Bob,
remember
being a
who they are.
prospector,
85.
has a rope exactly the length we need, doesn't he?
Prospector Bob isn't with you.
Isn't he? Prospector Bob, knowing we were coming here, gave us some rope that happens to be exactly the amount of rope that we need.
Or the skeletons were tied up with a rope, and
20
you can
yards.
just use that.
20 yards is 60 feet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is exactly that. I reckon that's why they made it a 60-foot hole. The lantern goes past you and keeps going down.
Oh, that makes it so easy. Thanks. I'll follow it and keep pace with it.
Basically, 60 feet down this hole, the rope can't. The lantern, because obviously someone's holding out the top, doesn't actually touch the bottom, but like just hovers a few feet above the ground. You are now climbed down. You're 60 feet down.
Well, you look that way, Misty. You look that way. I'll look this way.
In the dark are 6 human skulls.
I don't really need to look very far. They're there.
Can we just climb down using a rope?
Well, no, because the rope's not tied off. It's just John Watt's holding it. Okay, everybody, even most disconcertingly, even 60 feet underground, you all hear a high warbling scream echoing through spooky.
Okay, so didn't Mercy say we get the heads and glue them back on the skeletons and everything will be totally fine?
Oh, I was thinking we should probably take them back to town and give them a decent Christian burial.
I was thinking, what the hell's that?
Can I have some spirit checks, please?
Where'd the scream come from?
Are we rolling for fear?
You are indeed rolling for fear.
Oh, I should have.
In that case, I should click the fear.
Yes, I should have said.
Okay, so you just type roll fear. That's what we've got to do.
Mm-hmm.
Slash roll.
There's a -1 on it. I think everyone's okay, so you're fine. It's impossible to tell what's causing it, as it just reverberates and echoes throughout the game. But it makes you all feel uncomfortable.
Well, that nearly made me need to clean my drawers. You grab those 3, and I'll grab these 3, and we'll see if we can manage to get them back up to top.
All right, hold on. I'm going to assuming.
Did you say spirit -1?
I did. Oh, at this point, I think the rope might be dropped. No.
I was just setting my hot bar.
That's okay.
I'm just saying because I thought I'd better spend the penny because the more I will drop it. I'll go.
That's fine.
-1 failed of the Benny.
I didn't hear the -1. I'll Benny that.
Get a global effect now, shouldn't you?
Yes, I should do global effects.
Then we haven't got to worry about the penalty. You just do it for us.
And say fear check.
It's the only rule set that's got a global effects. Savage Worlds.
No global effect. Global, okie dokie. Effects that apply to everyone. Okay, so fear level 3 would be spirit -1, wouldn't it?
Be spirit -1 or fear -1.
Fear -1. Well, it's technically both, isn't it? I suppose I should do a comma. You can technically either.
Is that
Well,
-1 to
because
all
the-
spirit checks?
yeah,
that's what
because
the
there
rules
are
are.
other
checks
spirit
aren't
checks
fear
you can
rolls, are
make.
they? So-
Yes, like unshake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It
you can
should
do.
be
You can.
fear. It should be fear
You can.
-1.
Yeah. You can set fear level ones and then other general ones for fear as well, and they should then
Oh.
stack.
For the record, I was doing some research. Fear levels do not apply to rolls.
Oh, on the fear chart themselves, they don't. Okay, I thought they did.
It's if you actually read it, it specifically says the monster's fear modifier is
Okay.
used. That's it doesn't ever actually say anywhere in Deadlands, but if you actually look at the rules for the fear table, it explicitly states the monster's fear modifier is applied,
Okay.
which therefore means fear levels do not apply to heart attacks. Okay, so if I turn on fear level 1 now, and someone wants to make a fear check just to test it for me, there we
Boom.
go. Boom. That's
Excellent.
brilliant. Thank you very much. I have to give you a penny for that, annoying. Okay. You retrieve the bodies, and you clamber back up with your athletics rolls. And you get back. Obviously, you come out. You carrying the what? You've got the heads. Are you picking up the bodies as well? Sorry.
The bodies are already at the top.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Are you bringing the bodies out of the canyon?
The idea is to bring the bodies out, and then we can take them back to town for a decent burial.
If I wanted to be really evil, which I'm not going to be, I should make you all make a group athletics check to not disturb the highly unstable TNT. But I'm not that mean. Okay, so
No, you should just make John Watt make a repair check, because he's the one that deals with that kind.
So, okay, so a spoiled creative TNT. So you basically get back out of the hollow, and you're back onto the ground above, and obviously you get back onto your horses. So there you are. I've moved you back out.
In a piece, I presume.
Sorry?
A skeleton each, I presume.
Well, I imagine you can back them up in blankets or something.
Yeah.
Hey, so all you need to do now is obviously you haven't come across. Obviously, you've got the bodies, so you can. What's your plan now?
Go back to the horses, ride back to town.
Well, don't we want to go back and let the miners know we've collected the skeletons, and we're going to see if burying them and have them consecrated will help?
Yeah.
And
Well,
while we're going past, can we see if there are any tracks to show the passage of horses other than ours?
Well, indeed, you can't see any here, but what I will do is I will give you as you head off down the way. I'm just going to mention you. Whether you're on horseback or on foot, it's up to you. Because I don't know what your preferences are. Spread out in a line about a quarter of a mile off are 6 riders. The wind pulls and tears at their ragged black forms. It's impossible to tell where their bodies end and the horses begin, but one detail stands out more than any other. They've got no heads. One of the horses lets out the warbling shriek, and they all break into a gallop towards you. What do you do?
Put out me gun.
And Headless Horseman gets to go first.
What I do is fail a fear check.
Didn't tell you to make one.
I know, I made it voluntarily.
But they don't. Yeah, ironically, they don't actually cause fear.
Oh, okay.
So you're okay. I'm going to be.
So I'm
nice.
okay. I'm going to voluntarily go. Right. Well. Oh dear. And I will go on hold when it comes to my turn till the very end because I'm not happy.
What'd I miss?
They're a headless horseman.
This horseman,
They want to stop us leaving.
they're
Oh.
charging us.
Those would be the dead men. I'm not dead. They are. Stop them from making me actually dead, if you don't mind. Do that thing you do with your fingers and the bullets that spread out. You call me strange. I got my eye on you, Mercy Vancouver, so I have.
Paddy, regardless of whether you're dead or alive, there is no question you are definitely strange.
Well, I'll warrant you that. But there's something not normal about her as well.
Yeah, in a good way.
I don't know what you're talking about. This whole group
Oh,
is a little on
feck,
the
that's
weird
fast.
side.
Hey. Okay. Righty-ho. So on the combat tab, basically, as this headless horseman comes running towards you, he literally seems to summon up out of nowhere burning brimstone and throws it at Patrick. It hits in a small burst template, which only affects Patrick. Interesting. Look, on the small burst templates aren't circular on this map. Because of the scale. Okay. Patrick, you take 3 wounds as you're hit by burning brimstone.
Tav, I've got a card that you might want.
Actually, no, actually, what I'm going to do is I have a card as well.
You don't want mine?
Yeah, Mercy has an extra card as well, because I can't use it.
You don't catch fire, you'll be happy to know.
Well, that's good. 5 inches. So let's have that not happen, shall we?
Okie dokie. In that case, as the headless horseman is charging towards you to fire the brimstone, it completely fails to notice the golfer hole underneath it, and basically the whole the entity stumbles, leaving it vulnerable.
Aha! See, this is golfer territory.
John Watts, you're up, sir. Not bad a medium. A medium's aren't so bad. And larges are okay.
Right.
You know what? I might find a better map than this one. Hang on.
Go on,
So you're at-
hold.
Change the scale on this one and re-add us again.
I'll find it. Maybe not.
Yeah, that's what I would have done. I'd have used this map as an overland map.
Mhm.
With a single token on it for the party, and then cut.
Yeah,
to
well,
zoom
yeah,
in.
To be honest, if I'd realised, to be honest, I tell you what, I agree. What I'm going to do is, right.
Oh, I don't know. It works. But you might as well carry on. It works. We're here.
Yeah,
now.
we're going to carry on. I'm not going to try fixing it now. It's not worth worrying about. It's just very small and very pixelated. But who cares? Okay, who's up? William Money's up next.
Yeah, I went on.
Okay, well, I've seen this geezer fall down, so I'm going to now shoot him.
Oh, he's got his ghost gun. You're
Yeah.
gunning down ghosts with the ghost gun.
Exactly. Better. That's better. That's better. Ba-da-ding.
Yay.
And
bleeding.
then I will.
Stop bleeding out. You incapacitate.
And then I'll just start pointing my gun at the other guy, and it's my turn.
Luke. Headless horseman. Hey, he's going to have to run as well. And he then he comes running towards you, then disappears, vanishes.
Mercy's gonna go on hold to wait and see.
Okie dokie. And going to throw brimstone at William Money. Missing.
Do that.
Okay.
And shoot him.
Go for it.
Well, I'm not going to take that as a shot. Obviously, that's a rubbish shot. That's better. There you go.
I think he's fiddled with these dice.
Been breathing on them.
Okay, it is incapacitated. One.
Yeehaw!
One.
One. One goes on hold. Mr. Amazing Adolfo.
Okay, since one of them nearly threw some brimstone at me, I think I shall act. And I'm going to point at this horseman here, and I'm going to call out to him and say, "A great orator once wrote, 'It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad among his fellow men and travel far and wide. And if that spirit goes not forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death. Has that happened to you, poor soul? For if it has, I'm going to take all the parts of you. We're going to take you back and give you your last rites so that you might rest properly. Please leave us in peace that we might give you the peace that was not afforded to you.' And I will try and use that as a test to distract him with my, performance and persuasion are both exactly the same.
Spirit. Doesn't
Well,
seem to...
looks like he doesn't read Charles Dickens then.
Indeed not.
He hasn't got a head. With what would he read it?
Well, maybe he read it in life. You know, he now knows that he's a spirit and he doesn't want to end up like Jacob Marley. But apparently he does.
This one rides forwards and then vanishes.
Cheating.
This one rides forwards and vanishes.
A good choice there, sir, a good choice. You go back to whence you came and we will lay you all to rest.
Throw brimstone at Mercy. Missing. Sophia, you're up.
Due to an incredible force of irony, I got the same adventure card this week as I did last week. So
Are you feeling
I'm
you
going
want
to
the spirit sight?
I'm gonna do it
Okay.
again.
Hang on. Juan just requested interrupt.
That's
No,
okay.
go ahead. I just want to, at the end of the round, I want to make sure I go.
Okay, you activate your spirit sight, and okay, So first things first, you can. I will mark. So I will make the ethereal ones visible again. Oh no, that's the incapacitated one. Actually, yeah, the incapacitated one. On the map.
Same as one. I just want to make sure I go before the round is over.
Okay, so you can see them all, but obviously if they're ethereal, you can't technically see them or attack them. But there we go. And also, well, let's just say it turns around, looks at you, and waves. Sophia.
Okie dokie. What do the headless horsemen look like in my spirit sight? Do they look any different to they do in regular sight?
That's a very good question. Well, they aren't. It appears they aren't riders on horses. Only a shadowy apparition that looks like. All you really see is a swirl of shadows and dark. Actually, that's what everyone sees. From your perspective, they just look just like that. The only difference is you can see them when they're ethereal. You only
So
seem
is
to become.
5 ethereal?
Is five? No, five's dead.
So if it's on its side, it's
Yes.
is 6 ethereal.
6 is ethereal. Yes.
Okay, I'm going to come up behind Will Money. I'm
Just-
going to put my arms around him and guide his hand and say, I can see it. It's right there. It's invisible, but it's right there and it's coming towards us. Because he's the one with a gun that can actually do something.
He is indeed. Need to find.
I will therefore roll my notice as an assist to Will.
Sounds good to me.
Well, that worked real well. I think I made him jump.
There it is. It's at the top. Okay, I'm afraid you have given Mr. William Money a -2 on his next shooting roll.
Guess he didn't expect my boobs pressing up against his back.
Evidently. Okay, who requested interrupt? Mercy and Juan requested interrupt. John Watt's still on hold. Go, guys.
Juan was Juan requested it first, so he can go.
Yeah, Juan requested it first. There you go, Juan.
Okay, if I'm not mistaken, the unnumbered one is still visible, correct?
That's
Yeah.
the one that fired brimstone at me.
Yeah.
Okay. Juan is going to couch his spear and spur his horse and charge the unnumbered one.
Okie dokie. The unnumbered one. I like that description. You charge the unnumbered one, the force of darkness and shadow. Go for it.
I'm not going to get anywhere near as close as I was thinking I would, even at a dead run. So let me find where is.
That was one of the reasons I was thinking of changing the map because I didn't realize they were that far off. But the idea was to give you time.
I'm trying to find how big horse or how fast horses move.
They've got a pace of 8, haven't they? And I think they've got running dice of 8 as well. I think.
Is it okay? So 12 inches or 14 inches.
Horse. Actually, pace of 12 with a running die of D8. I apologise. So you actually get to move 16 inches.
Okay, that is Juan's action.
That's absolutely fine. You're galloping forward, so then you realise that obviously something's strange and distances are not what they appear. Mercy, you're up.
Mercy's gonna ride forward. 6. I don't know if that's gonna put me in range. I'll have to test.
Remember, your horse can ride 12.
Your horse can ride 12.
Okay, then I can get up here next to Juan. So that would put him in range. He's the only one in my, so I'm not going to do the template. I'm just going to target him.
Ooh, shiny.
Your fatigue would not have gone away because you. Okay, you hit it with your ghost bullets, which Sophia most certainly sees that the gun doesn't fire, that the bullets come from you into the gun.
And I only fire one bullet this time because I try not to be obvious with the magic.
You incapacitate the headless horseman, and it goes down. It sort of explodes outwards in a shower of shadow and smoke, and basically just and then coalesces into a pile upon.
So Juan's got his spear couch and he's charging forward, and suddenly bursts in, and Juan just kind of sits up and looks over his shoulder at Mercy and shakes his head.
Indeed, Mr. Watch, are you staying on hold?
Yes, I am.
Okie dokie. Round 2 begins now with the bad guys getting a joker.
Oh,
okay. He's invisible at the moment, and he's ethereal. He gallops forwards 20 inches straight towards Mercy and Wong. He becomes apparent as he appears, and he throws his brimstone, hitting Mercy Vancouver. You totally need a way to keep this ability. That's quite straightforward, okay? There's a way to do it. You have to get a very specific adventure card, yeah? And then get someone to kill you.
Well, if you don't want me to keep it, that's fine.
No. There's a very specific adventure card that's added in. Yeah.
If you die in that session, you definitely come back harrowed.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's, I'm afraid, the only way to get it, I'm afraid, because the other way, of course, to get it is, and again, the other way to technically get it is basically what you have to do, and I'm not sure which arcane background is. You'll have to work out which arcane background gets Detect Arcana, and just
I'm trying to figure that out now.
And just learn. Okay, so
I can always shoot you.
But you have to wait till someone gets the adventure card that basically guarantees you come back harrowed if you die.
Yeah, that's more likely because 2 of us are Destiny's Child.
Okay, the fiery brimstone comes hurtling towards Mercy. She just jinks a horse at the very last second. Mr. William Money, you basically lose composure and have a -2 penalty on your shooting as Sophia just appears right behind you.
Up against me, yeah.
Yeah, and she just it's her head
The
in
woman
you.
in
And
that
going,
was pressing her breast up against my back.
Yeah. But it's also probably the fact she just suddenly doesn't warn you and just sort of says right in your ear, it's over there. It makes you jump and obviously gives you a -2 penalties to your shooting roll, I'm afraid.
Oh, I'm going to have to shoot it with a +7.
So you line up the shot and then you suddenly jink at the last second.
Benny and probably critically fail this time and kill Mercy.
You hit. Oh, no, you don't. That's a 5. You miss.
Oh, all right. Why is it? What's the range? Oh, it's a bit fair, isn't it?
Because you're not moving on your horse with a 12-inch.
Oh, actually, I would have moved, obviously. I thought because I'm just thinking the range is a bit. Yeah, I'm going to move so it's not short range.
Well, but it's a 5. Wouldn't that hit?
No, because a 5. Oh, hang on. Sorry. Yeah, medium range target 5. Yes, it is a 5. He does hit without having to move. Sorry, point taken.
It's -1, isn't it? So.
Because obviously, if you don't move, you don't get unstable.
No, but it's a -2. But even on a -2, it's still a 5, which is a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, I'm going to now kill it.
Yeah, go for it.
If you'd have moved, it might have actually made it harder.
No, well, not if you don't run. Horses, I suppose, do count as unstable platforms.
That's a terrible roll, and I'm going to waste one of these pennies on it.
2 wounds. You incapacitated. It explodes outwards in a chorus.
I'll say thanks. I'll say thanks to Sophie D, but not for pointing out the ghost.
Okay. Horseman. Headless Horseman was incapacitated. Okay. One, you're up.
Well, they're all invisible again, so one's going to go on hold again.
Okie dokie. Sorry, Huang. Okay, Headless Horseman number 4 is incapacitated. Headless Horseman number 4 coalesces back into solid form and gallops forwards.
How did he do that? Didn't I shoot him?
Worrying, isn't it?
Yeah.
You shot him dead more at the point.
Yeah.
Yep, he's going to have to run to get to you. And then he claws you.
Son of a bitch.
Hitting. Doing... quite a lot of damage as the shadow you see the shadow becomes solid as the claws solidify and it gashes across you. Desperation, you attempt to dodge the blow, but unable currently to completely negate it.
I'll take this. I'll just take one.
I can't spell story.
It's all right. My spelling's been questionable too. Cool.
Okie dokie. Sophia D, you're up with your spirit side. So what you saw there was the destroyed. You thought basically with your spirit sight, you actually saw basically she say these have got value to. You literally just see the sort of, it is sort of just pure anger, rage, and evilness literally sort of coalesce back into the form, and it basically reformed itself after it being shot by the ghost gun, and that basically came back to life. Now, looking at the other incapacitated forms, you can see that they're already slowly forging themselves.
They're coming back. The ones you've taken down, they're coming back. Headless Horseman 4, is it incorporeal or corporeal?
Headless Horseman 4 is very corporeal. It just took a chunk out of William money.
Okay, I'm going to try and punch it with my knuckle dusters.
Okie dokie.
Hell, I'm just going to go with a wild attack here. Why not?
Okay, go for it.
You can always do that faster than I can.
Absolutely fine. We shall end this round on leave it on a cliffhanger of what will happen to the party when you have the creature sheet.
Well, if we're going to end it, what we'll do will come off all then.
At the end of the round, I'm going to put it on hold.
I'm pennying that.
Because of time, and I'm going to redo the map. I might even.
Oh, for frack's sake!
Twice. That's terrible. You punched me in the ghoulies.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think the evilness. There's more than one headless horseman, and there's 6 of them. Make your
Went all corporeal as I hit it, didn't it?
It went. Yes, it did. Please roll damage. Okay.
I'm really sorry.
you smack William Money in the side, probably just where it's been clawed open. I will, however, award Mr. Money a Benny for accepting for narrating the story that you punched him you punched him.
I'm gonna waste that Benny
So
and try and
sorry.
take it.
Mr. Money, you might want to look at the adventure cards you just got.
Have I got an adventure card?
Yeah.
I've already played my adventure card.
Have you? Curses.
Oh, however you give
Anybody
it to, if you give it to me, I might play it on you.
You can't
got
play
a
better
play.
than you than you can't play
How
better
about
than
that?
you than me. It's
John,
it
I've
has to
just
be.
dropped
It
one on
has to
you.
be that.
you can
I've
play
just
ace,
dropped one
though.
on you, John. John,
Yeah. Right. Okay.
can you play?
Actually, let's retcon all of that while I play this one.
Haha, reroll the critical failure.
Okay, reroll the critical failure. That's a nice card. Reroll your critical failure, Sophia, which was your brass knuckle attack. So let me. Oh, damn it. I'll go look it back. Sophia D. Brass knuckles distracted. Headless horseman.
Wild
Parry 7.
attack.
Wild attack would make it a 5. Which I forgot
Can't
to
get the
turn
right
on
person.
So how
Yeah.
much? So how much damage
still
did
misses.
Will Money take?
None at all.
A curious coincidence. None at all. That's how much luck I was having with my dice this evening.
Oh,
Right. So the
that's
reason.
good. I like that one.
So didn't Will Money get hit though?
Not at all.
Right. Okay.
He was just lucky, I guess.
Gets lucky, I guess. I've got a
That's
whole
taking
body of
and
cards.
then,
After that card play, am I allowed to play more bennies to try and make the hit actually hit?
Yes, of course you are thinking about it. Sorry, let me undo that. Move it back to you. Turn on wild attack.
So Will Money is not
target that.
shaken then,
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
or wounded.
Or wounded.
That didn't re-roll the right thing, so bear with me.
Make your attack roll. You hit Headless Horseman number 4.
And I'll be bennying the damage. Probably more than once.
You shake Headless Horseman number 4.
Okay, I'll go with back to the shaken result then.
Okay, you shake Headless Horseman number 4. Okie dokie. Now I get to move 8 inches, and then I have to. Okay, this one, for the record, has just become corporeal. For anyone who might be on hold and was waiting for something.
Yes,
to
Juan will
corporeal,
come off hold, please.
That will be an athletics roll off. Go for it, sir.
I'll take
Are
a
you
5.
happy with a 5?
Bother. Okay.
I'm going to throw a brimstone at you just to teach you, because I'm feeling particularly mean.
so
You're in your normal state then. Okay.
Indeed, and really, I've got lots of bennies. I'm going to re-roll the damage.
So it's Sophia. Has she played 2 cards?
So, Juan, you are shaken,
Yes,
so you can
I
act.
have.
It is now your go, but unfortunately, because you're now shaken.
No, I didn't get to start my turn because I failed to interrupt. I get my free spirit check.
You know what? I don't think I can argue with that logic. Go for it.
Nothing made a difference.
It's Juan played his card yet?
Yeah, I'm the one that just saved Sophia's crit
Right, okay.
again.
I was going to play better you than me. You could have reversed it and punched him in the face.
Okay, so Juan is going to charge this direction. And since I don't have to run the horse, I'm just going to kind of trot the horse this way. And as I go past Horseman 2, I'm going to attempt to stab him with my spear. Because this is a riding, while I'm doing that, I have to use my riding, not my fighting. Oh. Crying out loud.
And you just used the lucky I guessed, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
I'm going to say that you get to there and basically the headless horseman basically the headless horseman's horse part of it, you know what I mean, because I know it's one entity, lets out that keening wail again that totally freaks out your horse, and basically you become vulnerable as you're spending. You literally have to spend time trying to control your horse. I mean, you do, and the horse does continue carrying on past, but unfortunately, you lose your ability to attack because, of course, you're trying
Because
not to call a
I'm
horse.
fighting with my horse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. The amazing Adolfo.
But hang on, wait a minute. Isn't there a card that negates a critical failure?
Sorry, it's funny though watching you stand on your head trying to think through that logic. Sorry, I was obviously putting some interesting faces on that. Did
Already
you
played
start,
that card.
Did you start your turn before?
Yes, but if somebody's played that card, John Watt might be able to play it again because he might have the card that lets you play one that's in the discard.
Yes. So what I'm saying is that somebody has played Just Lucky, I'm guessed.
Yes, someone has.
Just Lucky.
Okay, so you take.
So he recovers. He recovers his horse. He swings round, and he gets lucky again.
Play to allow one of your posse to re-roll a critical failure. Okay, Mr. Watt, we get to record.
Okay, so he whinnies. He screams, "My horse whinnies." It's still going to be a terrible miss. Let's go ahead and try.
But the point is
there's the crit fail.
Okay. A 4 would still miss. You need an 8 because I got a parry of 7.
Wow.
Benny, baby.
Yeah, we're late enough in the day. Let's go ahead and just burn a few here. Oh!
I love the because it's treating as a test, isn't it?
Yeah, because
it's fine.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and spend my last Benny on it. Come on, baby. Bah. Okay, I miss.
But anyway, at least you.
At least I'm not vulnerable.
At least you're not vulnerable, which I need to take off you, and your horse didn't freak out. Wait, play it in reverse. Okie dokie, Mr. Adolfo, it's over to you, sir. Before the
I would like to make an occult roll to see if we've thought that taking the skulls back and burying them might make these guys be all laid to rest, but there is also the thought of their ghosts. If we salt and destroy the bones, that might give the spirits freedom. So I would like to think to myself, do I think that'll work? And if it does, jump up and down on the skulls.
No, funeral pyre, burn them.
Well, I've failed my occult roll anyway, so I'll and I have no bennies, so I'm just gonna. So the bones, do we bury them? Do we break them? What the fuck do we do? Don't let them hit me! And that'll be me. Oh, I've got a benny. I'll use it to re-roll the occult roll.
I'm giving you a benny for having a good idea.
Well, okay. In which case, I'll since I've failed twice, I will just stomp on one of the bones and see if I can smack it.
Make a strength check.
Please go bust and fall on your ass. It would just look so funny.
Oh, look at that! Look what.
Oh, with that, I've probably smashed all 3 that I've got.
Okay, no. Right, roll a d6. Roll a d6.
GM says you're going to die.
Roll a d6.
1.
That's Headless Horseman. Headless Horseman screams out in agony and pain and vanishes.
You did it! You did it! You did it! Do it again!
Smash the skulls! Smash the skulls! Feck, I need to drop them first! I'll drop the other 2 that I'm carrying before somebody shoots me.
Well, you could drop them on the floor, but that's all you get to do this round.
Well, yes.
Mr. Headless Horseman is the incapacitated headless horseman gets back up. Okie dokie. Go on then. Let's see you do the interrupt. I'm just putting the mouse there so we can have some fun. Are you happy with a 5? Are you happy with
I thought we'd do the roll off of athletics.
Yes,
I
but you
thought
had
you
a
were
headless horseman targeted, so it. Oh no.
I haven't rolled.
Oh,
You haven't rolled. So.
Okay, I don't
Yeah,
know where that 5 came from. Then is the honest
No,
answer.
he
that-
rolled.
Yeah, the headless horseman rolled.
I hadn't released the mouse button. I don't know where that came from. Oh well.
Well, there you go. Are you happy with a 5 GM?
I will. Well, he'll roll, and I will re-roll my 5. I will spend a penny and re-roll regardless of his roll. How's that?
Oh, that was going to be a. Oh.
Are you happy with a 9?
Yes, I'll stick on a 9. So
My Ghost Rock roll gets me a 4, so you do get to interrupt the horseman as it reforms.
Right.
What are you doing?
Now, the destroying the skulls. Shall get rid of them. So how do we destroy all the bones simultaneously?
Well, there are 3 that are hanging from handcuffs around Sophia's waist, and there's 2 that are on the floor next to me.
Would the elemental manipulation work?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Why don't we
to cause a rock to
change,
fly over?
animate the change to crush the bones?
Yeah, I was thinking more like move a rock to crush the ones that are on the ground already.
Yeah, I'll just start throwing rocks about.
So yeah, depending on what you cast it at, you'll either get a D8 or a D10 strength.
Yeah, so basically, so it would basically be you have a casting roll, and we'll decide whether your strength is D8 or D8, D10.
Cast with a success, it's a D8. To cast with raise, you affect it at D10s.
Is that what we're going to do? Is that what we're going to do? You want me to roll manipulation?
Yeah, if you're going to use a rock, if you're going to pick up a rock and drop it on a skull, that's elemental. Well, your elemental manipulation power, I should say.
But then you've got it. You've then got it for 5 rounds after that, and you keep using it without.
Okay, we'll play Arcane Inspiration.
And she suddenly realised how to cobble together how you can manipulate one of your devices to do this. Okay, make a weird science roll on a success.
He will rock you.
Yeah, on a success, you get a D6 strength. On a raise, you'll get a D8 strength.
What
could possibly go wrong if I bet any of this?
Nothing. Steam powered piston actioned pickaxe.
You got us a raise because it's +2.
Yes,
yeah.
It's
Your
+2.
friend
That's
and it's coming
+2.
to give you
okay,
a
roll a D8 because I know your strength isn't D8. So just roll a straightforward D8. And you've got elemental manipulation running for 5 rounds, haven't you?
No, that with the +2 from the adventure card, that would be with a race with D10 strength.
Oh, it's D6 or D8 strength.
Oh, is it D6 or D8?
Yeah.
But it's a strength roll, so you get your wild die as well.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, go for it. Okay, 6 points of damage. That's fine. Roll a D5.
A D5?
you can do that. Slash roll D5.
Yeah, you can. That's the point.
That's too fast. A bit posh, is it not?
You just go. It's slash die D5 these days. Isn't it?
It's die D5, isn't it? Yeah.
It's slash die D5. So you get a 6. How the hell do you get 6 on a D5? Going out mad.
Because it's got aces.
Oh yeah, of course it has.
Then it was a 5.
1. Okay, well, Headland Horseman.
That was me.
No, John Watt got a 2.
John Watt got a 2. That's fine. Headless Horseman number 2 spontaneously combusts into nothingness and dies.
Yeah.
Just as well, I should have played. If I'd kept Desperate Times, I could have played Adrenaline Surge to do it all over again. So, but them's the breaks.
I'm going to hit Sophia D with a Brimstone. Missing, so I'm going to I'm going to try again. Hitting, because the reason I'm doing that is a small burst template means it will hit everybody.
Does anybody have any cards to play?
I've got
Actually-
2 cards to play. Has anyone got any spare plays?
William Money's clear,
Spent up,
but
sorry.
okay, so the brimstone hits Sophia.
So, sorry, so Will
Giant
Money's
D4!
got card plays, hasn't he?
So the
I've got any
brimstone
cards to
hits
play? I've got
Sophia,
2 cards I
the
can see.
brimstone
Give
hits
to someone
Watt,
else.
and the brimstone hits Adolfo. Which I think all of you are unharmed, so you're okay.
Phew.
Sophia's shaken, which means I get to roll a d6 on Sophia. Sophia does not catch fire.
Good. Last thing we need is Sophia wearing a corset and nothing else with Will Money around.
Well, the last thing you lot need.
Oh, I didn't see Juan there. Headless Horseman comes up straight towards him, becomes corporeal, and slashes at one. Oh dear. Doing
All
no,
the skulls are right next to us, aren't they? I'm just going to stomp them with the horses, I think.
and that brings us to Mercy Vancouver.
Now, which of these can I see?
I believe all of them are visible at the moment.
But 4 is only shaken, right? So I'm going to ride back this way.
Yep.
And because I'm pretty sure I got the reach for this, I'm going to double check it.
John Watt was shaken as well. I didn't notice.
That you sure it came from?
Yeah,
From the
that's
brimstone.
from the.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, my phone has got a pointer on it now.
It's because
Was
the
it-
scale on this map is for
scales.
not working probably.
The scale's not right.
I'll have to use selective to miss Will.
What it is really, really, really small squares, and each square set to 2 inches. It really buggers things. Otherwise, it was ridiculous. It was like, these are 7-pixel squares, whereas 3.5 pixel squares would have been diabolically awful.
It's not letting me target 4, and I should be able to get them both in that burst. Every time I try to target it, it pops up both money and.
That's okay. I got it. It's the scale thing. It's done. Go for it. Ooh, your magic bullets. You missed. You missed. That's going to be a hit, isn't it? Yep, that's a hit. Oh, out of range. Ignore that guy. It isn't. Go for it. Okay, Headless Horseman 1 is 4 is unharmed. Headless Horseman 5 is shaken.
Oh,
So okay, so do you want to spend your last penny?
No, I don't want to spend my last penny.
Okay, that is the end of the round, and that's where we shall leave it mid-fight today. So if people want to spend pennies to recharge power points, now's the time to do it. Hope you enjoyed it, and we shall finish this encounter next time, where I may actually make a prettier map just for my sake of my sanity, if I remember, but I won't. So, but we'll leave it there. Hope
You
you
should
enjoyed
definitely
it.
look after your
That kind of
sanity.
terrain, we shouldn't have been able to move around the way we were.
I know. I'm ignoring the terrain of the map. It was just the easiest map to. It was just easy to use the map you guys were on. So anyway,
Sanity's overrated. Don't worry about that too much.
I won't indeed. Well, there we go. One and all, we'll leave it there. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. We shall see you next week. Yeah. I may or may not have a game on Sunday. It depends what time I finish working on Saturday night through